Good evening, guys, gals, and other pals, and welcome to Immortal League Group B. You've come all this way. Time to stamp your mark on this fine League of Legends game we have today. Tonight, why don't you give us the teams, Panda Boat? Who are we playing?
We got Dorado Gaming Alpha versus, let me make sure I'm saying this correctly because I've said it wrong twice. Lane Zero Inferno.
All right, and what I'm hearing through the grapevine is that Dorado Gaming has been on a bit of a tear so far, but Lane Zero has been struggling a bit. So it's their time. It's Zero's time to prove themselves that they deserve to have a top rank in this group. So this is kind of this mid-season kind of making this is your last chance to kind of stamp your place in the standings more or less before people start to just be like, okay, this is the way the group is shaping up. So I think we're moving into draft here pretty soon. Oh, we are moving very, very quickly. So what are you expecting to see here tonight, Pan?
Just overall some volatility out of bot lane. I'm hopeful for. I'm a support main myself, so any sort of hook champs, any sort of engage, I'm always there for that.
Awesome. Well, support mains unite. I'm also support main, but I'm on the other side of things. I'm a Nami one trick. So I'm more of the clerics. I love seeing clerics, so we can see some. And Bard is kind of a cleric, kind of. He's a little bit of a weirdo, but getting banned out almost immediately here.
I would hope there's also some pace in the mid lane. It looks like high mastery on things like Ryze, Akali, Ahri from both of these mids. So I'm expecting a little bit of maybe some counter pick here in mid, or just a nice rebuttal lane where we see the junglers get in the mix as well.
Yeah, so those three picks, Ahri, Ryze, Akali, that's screaming to me, I want to work with my jungler, I want to be super active on the map. These aren't passive laners just from those champion picks that they want to put their mark on the game early and often. And the first pick coming in, probably going to be for Kibo here, that Karma, which is a pretty safe, general good early pick, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Senna didn't get picked up here first. I know that a lot of people were saying that she was going to get nerfed on this patch, but from everything that I've seen stats-wise, it hasn't really been that impactful. In fact, there's like, not new, but like old ways of playing that are coming back into effect, like, you know, fasting Senna and stuff like that, but please tell me that's fake. That's a Yuumi
Oh
pick.
no, that's locked in Yuumi. I said I liked clerics, but I don't know if I think maybe you heard me a little too loudly there. Yuumi is very interesting. Okay, Ezreal Karma, that's a classic poke lane, very safe in the bot lane. So that's telling me that Dorado is already thinking like, I want to roam my Karma, maybe have my Ezreal play super safe, and then just like make things happen on the map. And then there's the Vi matching into the Xin pretty nicely. So we got some pretty good skirmish going on here. But that Yuumi, what do you think about that? Where does that play into
I hate the
things?
pick. I just hate Yuumi as a champion. But I do think you want to pair it with something like the Sivir, like the Zeri. Maybe create a lane phase where you just get to do whatever you want on that character. I think the Vi was a preemptive, hey, if you guys pick Zeri, we're slamming the Vi here, you're going to take damage, you're going to get hunted down. But I think the Sivir change there was probably a good call. You now have a basic front-to-back style comp where you can be aggressive with Sivir ulti, you can play off the Xin Zhao, and if they dive too hard with the Vi, then you have the ability to have Yuumi kind of, you know, heal and shield some of that off, and then Xin Zhao for the rebuttal.
So now I'm not too well versed on the current meta and how things are shaping up in this tournament, but usually when you have a Severe, you want like a really solid front line that can, you know, buy her a lot of space. Is that what we're seeing a lot of, or are we seeing more like skirmisher, brawler, bruisers?
It's a bit of a mixed bag. I'm guessing with Yuumi, they just want a straight wall. I wouldn't be against a Scion and Ornn type of pick here, but it looks like they just want to give top counter as they lock the Ahri.
Yeah, I like the Ahri. It's the Ahri Xin pairing. So active, right? There's so much you can do with those two, just moving around the map. And I'd love to see now. Mel is, I'm seeing a poke comp.
Yeah, this kind of went in from Vi goes in and we just channel with her and then, you know, throw stuff over the top to we're absolutely gonna play the poke and see if we can just make Xin Zhao have to frontline for them. I like the Scion steal away too. I did like the Ahri pick away from Dog, as they do, you know, have a good pairing with Vi Ahri if that got locked in. And they're just going to lock Window to round out their comps. So, I mean, I think both comps have pretty decent iterations here.
Yeah, I don't hate this all too much. The only thing that I might have a little bit of a gripe with is there's a little bit of a lack of CC from LZI. But does that really matter when you're playing against a bunch of poke champions, more or less? I don't think it's that important. As long as you can just get the Vi off, that's the big question. Can you get the Vi off of your Severe who's intended to carry these fights? So I think maybe that's the name of the game. Any observations you're making here about how these games might play out?
I would say I'd be more worried about the CC if there wasn't just a Scion in front of you. But Sivir's always going to have somebody to bounce the auto attacks off of now, because they're going to be playing this relative front to back. If they do ever overcommit with the Vi or try to throw Mel CC over the top, then Xin Zhao and Ahri can counterattack with a dive of their own onto the back line. Karma's going to be in a really weird spot this game. She wants to play around the Vi. She obviously wants to dominate lane, but that's hard to do against the Sivir. So I'd like to see how well the jungle support for Dog is able to group up, move around the map, establish vision, and kind of choke LZI out of a lot of the objectives that they may go for.
Yeah, if we can get, the three, I think the Karma, Mel, Vi, there's a lot of power there compared to, say, Yuumi, Xin, Ahri. But the Xin, Ahri alone, they've got so much juice, I think. Like, if you just look at the jungle mid duos, right? For the early game dominance, I really like LZI. And I think if they can push the pace early on to set up a clean late game for Yuumi Severe, I think they've got a pretty decent draft and a good chance at doing that. The question is the wild card of Apex being kind of unlocked and able to run around this map with a super safe Ezreal pick gonna be that X factor in changing the way some of these early game skirmishes go?
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that the Mel has good hands, because if you don't, you're probably just gonna get jumped by Ahri and Zhao the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Deflecting the charm is gonna be pertinent, and trying to play away or towards your Karma vibe backup that you're gonna see a lot of, or turning engages if Ahri engages onto you and then Vi is able to turn that into the Ahri without getting dragged under tower or something, will be very pertinent as well. So hopefully, this is 1,200. Hopefully this is some hands here, but it's definitely what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but there is, and it's cool that you mentioned that, because Mel kind of has to play a little bit back. So there's already kind of like, you're already a little bit on the back foot, maybe giving up some prio that another champion, like something like a Kali, could have potentially contested. So you're kind of forced to be a little bit safe. You're not really going to be running up with this Vi going into, Hell's Kitchen, so to speak, against Ahri and a Xin. You don't have that kind of that star power in that early game that those two have. So maybe you're going to be giving up a little bit of prio. Maybe you're giving up some of these early objectives or jungle control even. It really just depends. Maybe Vi's world gets turned upside down in ways that she didn't really expect just because of the nature of the draft. So I think it really is going to come down to, can Karma get unlocked? Is Ezreal going to be safe enough in that bot lane for Karma to be able to kind of bolster the early game, this early game, and help get that Mel over the line to where they can start winning the poke wars?
We'll see. I hope the 3v3 in bot lane is exciting as well. I mean, I know we're having a Karma and a Yuumi, so probably not going to be like, full out fist fighting and everything, but there are some instances where we do bring the Xin Zhao down, we bring the Vi down, and then level 6 unlocks, and it's kind of 3v3 hands check, arena type situation going on over there. So I hope that we see some of that, but I do expect most of the action to go down around that mid objective area.
Well, we will find out in just a couple minutes here, everybody. We're going to throw it to a quick break, and we will see you for game 1. Peace. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are getting ready here, loading up into game 1 of Dorado versus LZI, week 4 of Group B. I'm your host, Mite, and joined with me is Panda Boat. We're going to bring you all the action non-stop here in this week 4 matchup. It's looking to be a doozy. A little bit of a spicy draft if you missed it earlier. We got a Yumi locked in.
Yeah, UB Spice. To be honest though, I'm not expecting much in the terms of action for the first couple of minutes here. It's gonna be a lot of Ezreal Q poke, maybe some Yumi. Yeah, Yumi Q, and then hopefully if Karma and Ezreal are able to play where they want to, this could be an aggressive lane look at level 2. But for the first couple wave and a half here, it should be, standing there, smacking back and
some
forth.
mantra keys. Just a little non-committal poke here. Smacking each other up a little bit. I mean, this is 1200. I don't think anyone's gonna just hard flip the early game on
level
some
1 invade with the Yumi.
Yeah. I mean, we'd love to see it. Makes for great telly, but Ooh, just barely misses the Q there in the mid lane.
I especially love this top lane matchup. When I have Meatball versus Meatball Deluxe, it makes me happy as a support player. You know that you always have somebody in front of you.
Both of these characters, believe me if I'm wrong, have infinite HP scale, correct? Or am I wrong?
I know Sion does. I'm not sure about Mundo. I know that his scalings are ridiculous and that his regen on his R is also probably one of the most disgusting things in the game. But I'm not sure if it's infinite.
Gotcha. It's not like the Sion W passive where he's just collecting free HP for existing. Although both of them do have grasp of the... Whoa!
Somehow, I'm not sure what that was. Was that a solo kill in the top lane?
Oh, it's looking very close to it. Apex is going very, very low. Oh, and he's gonna go down! Oh my goodness, the damage just comes out of nowhere. Fighting in the middle of the wave. That cannon minion is gonna do brutal damage. First kill going over to Trey Dog in the top lane.
So, one of these meatballs is stronger than the other. That's what it ended up being there. I actually did not notice this, but I think it came down to the starting items. There was a Doran's Helm on the Mundo, and on the Sion it was just a longsword.
Oh, Exhaust is going to get thrown in the bot lane. Heal as well. Verticality looking to battle with the Ezreal. Ezreal taking so much damage here. Going very, very low. Forced to flash barrier. Not enough. The root. There it is. The Q misses. And the auto attack is good. PBS running. Not running for his life because backup has arrived. Halls with the Xin Zhao. Kibo's running for his life. Going very, very low there. Is he going to survive? Boom! PBS with the auto attack. Yumi, Ezreal. Auto and double kill for the Yumi in the early game. What is happening? What are we watching? Panda, please explain. But the action is not over. USAJ wants some more, but he is just going to Q away, and that's going to be the end of shenanigans in the bot lane. What is happening?
Honestly, it was such an amazing sidestep out of verticality on the Sivir. Dodged out on the Ezreal Q and had him on the back foot. Kibo made a great route there to actually stop the Sivir from going forward after the flash and saved Ezreal's life, but then the Yumi, the wondrous Yumi we talked about in draft, got the double kill with the follow-up from the jungle, as it looks like there's going to be a delayed invade here on the
Oh, Halls, you're in so much trouble. There it is. The damage is coming through. No flash to safety. USJJ is going to pick it up. USA, 4th of July coming up soon. And he's celebrating with the red, white, and blue. I guess red and blue buffs. That's almost there. But in the mid lane, he wants more. Decker's going to get knocked a little bit up here. Just take a little bit of damage. Nissan coming in for some more. Going to get trade backed. That's going to be the end of it. Oh, is that going to be the end of it? The Foxfire coming in, flashes the charm. That's not enough. There it is. Orbit Deception, flashes it, and that's going to be auto. Decker weaving those auto attacks in beautifully. Flash. Resources getting burned very early in this game 1. They are both out for blood here.
So we may have told a bit of a fib, 6 kills in 4 minutes in a game like this with a double kill shutdown onto the Yumi is pretty gnarly for a game. But I just gotta say, it's been hands checks the whole time so far. I was asking for it, and every single member of both teams is just showing it.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some crazy mechanics. Both teams are pushing themselves to the absolute limit here, hands-wise, early game. But you know, when you put yourself into those kinds of very high tense situations, the smallest of mistakes get magnified into big leads early on for these teams. But both of these teams looking to cement themselves pretty good here. And despite the kills looking kind of crazy, CS is evening things out, so we're actually basically 100% even on gold. Maybe a slight lead in the favor of LZI, but things are looking, you know, not too crazy gold-wise, even if the kills look a little bit lopsided.
Yeah, unfortunately for LZI, that gold lead is likely just on the Yumi of all people. So, I mean, we'll help you get more healing and shielding in faster,
Yeah.
I guess. But you're at a spot right now where that's not necessarily where you want the gold lead.
Yeah, it's a little tragic that that Dark Seal wasn't able to be purchased a little bit earlier, otherwise it could be looking very pretty right now. But the Dark Seal does come through. I mean, that's a pretty common Yumi buy, even if you're not a 2-0 Yumi. But yeah, we'll see how that continues to scale throughout the game. Just looking at builds here, and like I said, I'm a little bit out of the meta, a little bit not too keen on what's going on here recently. I'm noticing that Doran's bow seems to be the favorite for both Ezreal and Severe here. Is there something about this item that I might not be aware of that's like super juicy right now?
So from what I understand, granted I don't necessarily play ADC, but I lane with them. It's really great if you're looking to skirmish and be aggressive early.
Oh, Apex spurs the flash, but there's the dash forward! Spirit Rush Decker picks up the kill and dashes right out. Sorry, Panda. Decker just wanted some blood real quick.
Yeah, Decker just got the freest kill of his life there. That was Apex overextended, thinking he could take a tower in Mundo's face, and Mundo said, hey, I have an Ahri that's roaming up here. So,
yeah.
This is probably the worst person to start getting fed early for the side of Dog, as Ahri just can take over the game. You talk about Ezreal having safety, Karma having safety. Not if you have a 4-kill Ahri that's one-tapping them, especially with Spirit Rush every 30 seconds. So
can get so out of hand so early. So you have, yeah, you're exactly right. You have to play so carefully on these side lanes. You cannot overextend. Can't go for these weird proxy kinds of plays that Science like to do. But this is where Mel likes to be pushed up, having full prio. Decker with no ulti can't really do anything here. Mel does have ulti available, I believe. Some damage is going to come through. The fight for chickens, the greatest battle of our age, is going to get secured in there by USHHA. Doja grabbing some consolation prizes on the end there. But and another thing, something that you were telling me about before we loaded into the game here, Panda, is that there is a bit of a something happened in the bot lane. Death and destruction. Oh, Kibo running for his life. Verticality getting some damage. One more auto is going to be enough, and that's the double kill going down for LZI in the bot lane. And suddenly the gold lead is not looking so even, as Halls wants some more action as well. SAJJ, he's going in for the damage. Punch. There's the armor shred. But backup is arriving. The Yumi, the bloodthirsty cat that she is, looking for some more. They are just going to walk away as Mel does walk over. But Mel's kind of out of mana. I don't know. Maybe they could have fought that one. But
yeah, she's out of mana because she killed the Ahri in the mid lane under tower. I think I think both of these teams decided that they just wanted to come in here and fist fight, regardless of the picks that they're on. And I'm here for it.
yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, the Yumi did get a couple of those as Apex looks like he might fall here. Getting relatively close. If another case lands, yeah. Oh, that's a big R button.
To turn it around though. Trey Dog got the damage though. When you're 1-0 and you've got a ton of HP, you're going to be dealing way more damage. Executioner's Calling actually coming out as an early buy here for Apex. Before we were so rudely, oh no, Decker's in a weird spot here. Charmer's going to land. Kibo's in trouble. The root does not make it, but Kibo's root is going to answer in kind. Decker's in a little bit of trouble. Going to take some poke here, but I think they are just going to walk their separate ways here. As USAJJ looking towards the bot lane. I think he's cut out a Yumi because I see a Yumi elf bar disappearing. A little more damage. Oh, there it is. That's some style points there for USAJJ. Putting that ulti there onto verticality. The, what's it called? The cease and desist.
Yes,
but it is going to get spell shielded, so not too much more is going to come from that. But the reign of terror ends for this bloodthirsty cat in the bottom.
Yeah, unfortunately losing all the Darksteel stacks they worked so hard for. But I mean, this early game seems like it's definitely benefiting LZI. The grubs are going to be huge for the Mundo in the mid to late game. He is going to be that side lane pressure point that you really want him to be. And then your team fights should be really solid here as Xin Zhao and Ahri are relatively accelerated to their counterparts, and your Sivir's already 2-1-2.
Yeah, the gold is kind of landing where you want it to if you're LZI, right? For the most part. Although the Yumi is a little bit unfortunate there, right? But Ezreal, you know, he's also got some damage. He's looking pretty good himself. It's not too terrible here for Dorado. But the ulti is going to come out. Kibo's in trouble, taking so much damage. One more auto is going to do it. That's going to be it. But Ezreal has plenty in the tank still to keep it pushing. Verticality is going to go down, and it's just a cat battle. Ezreal in the 1v1 is taking so much damage. PV5 with the spam laugh. That's brutal. Does pick up the kill though. This is I don't know what to say, man. When you have a 3-in-1 Yumi, it's been 10 minutes. Something strange is happening.
Imagine if he was any other character. It would be great.
Like a brand or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but the damage here is coming over. They don't want to let him go. The armor shred is going to be a lot. Trey Dog, though, picks up the kill and is going to go down himself, handing over 500 gold here to USAJJ. So much fighting, non-stop. Decker actually looking to check Nissan. Nissan looking for the root. Is it going to land? Is it going to go wide? Charmer's going to get flipped back on his head. Oh, but that's not enough damage. Hall's here to back this up, but he's in a 2v1 now. Getting locked up, taking so much damage. The ulti does pass through on a Decker, but it's not enough to finish the kill. Hall's in so much trouble. Is that going to be enough damage? Absolutely not. By the skin of their teeth, the LZI mid laner in jungle limp away in the mid lane, but Nissan is looking. He's hunting. He smells blood. Maybe some wolves. But TP is going to come through for Decker. Does he want the action? Just gonna look at mid lane, and that's gonna be the end of it, I think. But Kibo caught out of position. The root is gonna be good. USAJJ here to support the play. Shield comes through. Okay, they're gonna say enough of that. We've had enough fighting. 17 kills here in 12 minutes. Maybe we haven't had enough fighting yet.
Yeah, Apex looks like he wants to keep it going. Trey Dog's walking away for the time being, but the absolute massive amount of damage that came out on Trey Dog's auto there on the Apex when he was able to turn that 1-for-1 was crazy. I thought he was dead for sure and Apex would get away, but now it looks like he might die under tower. He's gonna go ahead and take it back, but
too.
Yeah, this is a very accelerated Mundo, which is not a character you want to see hit his late game scalings this early.
Yeah, no, you are definitely on the back foot here if you're Apex, going so low in that lane. A dive is absolutely on the table, and I think Hall just smelling blood in the water as he starts to mosey on over here to support this dive.
Yeah, Trey Dog's just gonna do it alone,
it's not even gonna be needed. Oh, but nope.
Yep, ulti pop.
To press one button.
He's gonna walk the rest of the wave down and probably look for this tower here. His dog trades that for the ocean.
Yeah, that's a good trade though. A solid trade if you're gonna commit Hall. I don't know if they read Hall's being top, but Hall's is gonna get the topside jungle here. But the big gank here on the verticality. Exhaust comes through. They wait it out. They wait out the spell shield. So much damage coming through. Oh, but she has it on the back end. Enough healing from Yumi. Hyper accelerated Yumi with a Moonstone Renewer and several stacks on that. Dark Seal is gonna be enough healing to keep verticality alive, but just barely. The attention is gonna turn into this bot lane tower as top tower falls.
Surviving that dive is absolutely insane. That only comes from having a 3-1-3 Yumi, because if she's just a normally paced Yumi in this part of the game, she's likely going to die along with her Sivir. And great play by Verticality there. Does get the spell shut up, blocks the first proc of the Vi Q, then plays towards the wall, so there's absolutely no way she can get knocked backwards when we're looking for the rest of the ult or the CC coming through. And now LZI is at a pretty decent pace ahead as far as the way that they want to escalate and elevate their gameplay here. You're going to throw Mundo in the side lane and just force 2 or 3 people to come to him.
Yeah, and who on Doja's team can really, on Dorado's team can really deal with this Mundo? I don't really know. Because this 2v2 is not Dorado favored whatsoever, as USJJ running tail tuck between his legs does block the Halsey. The Halsey's going in, damage is coming through, there's the shield, but is it going to be enough? That's the escape there from from USA. Halls is in trouble, taking so much damage. Verticality looking to clean up the kill. Ezreal chasing on the backside. A messy fight. Verticality just pick up USA JJ on the backside. Halls going very, very low here. Ezreal's going to go in. Apex picks up the kill. Frontlining here. Trey Dog and Verticality. That's the dream team. All the damage for LZI is here right now. Apex going extremely low. Kibo running for his life, taking auto after auto after auto. Ezreal on the wrong side of this fight needs an arcane shift, and there it is to get to safety. Hides under tower. That is the kind of fight that turns very, very deadly very quickly for Dorado if they do not respect that trio for LZI.
Yeah, and that was probably both jugglers going, man, why'd I die? That was the top laners were the one that was fighting. That's unfair. But I mean, as you see, it's Mundo and Sion. One gets to live forever, and one gets to live double that at this point with the way that Mundo's looking. As Verticality is going to get engaged on by Apex.
Big shields. There's the slow damage coming through. Verticality smack. Oh, what was that? Titanic Hydra says ADCs in 2026. I don't think so, buddy. You're going in the gulag. I may be 1 in 5, but you're an ADC. Get out of here. Oh my gosh.
I would be upset. I thought he was a melee chip. He hit me from across the lane. What is this?
Yeah, I don't need to win lane.
Yeah.
I don't need to win lane to kill you. I just need my Titanic. Boom, baby. Get him out of here. Oh, I love it. Love to see it. Beefy boys up in the top lane.
Yeah, no matter what happens in this game, you just got to look at the Yuumi pick and go, man, it was their fault. It's always
always Yuumi's fault. And then you stole 3 kills from us? What are you doing, man?
Yeah,
that's great.
But I do think at this point in the game, you are up 1.2k gold. If you are able to keep this Sivir alive in these team fights, you're going to have a very good spot here. Now the Yuumi.
I saw it.
I don't think that Yuumi can ever get off of Sivir.
Moments like that was licking his chops.
Yeah.
He was just salivating there in the side brush.
And if he had flash there, I 100% think he goes on. Yes, no flash.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really hard to time that W if you're getting hit from Fog of War. So definitely they're going to look to make these plays around Verticality now, as Ari is in the side lane. A lot of movement, really hard to track down, really hard to lock down. And then Mundo is so accelerated. So he has his Heartsteel, he has his Warmogs, he has Swifties of all boots, so he's not going to be slowed by anything. And he's already on that tier 2 tower in the bot.
So what we're seeing a lot of Trey Dog on this Mundo in the bot lane, and this is what I want to see. He's grouping up, pushing down this tower, just making it happen. Get with the team, get with the squad, let's go. Oh, but Apex is looking for the fight. Team fight is going to break out. Halsey pops the ulti. Getting on a very messy fight with backline, trading for backline here. Verticality just pick up USA JJ. Trey Dog on the front line though, so much damage coming through. Charm is good onto Apex. Arcane Shift is going to get away, but Apex is going to fall. Trey Dog just diving, smack, whack, and crack. Kibo goes down as Decker looks for 1, finds it, looking for 2, does not, barely dodges out the Q there from the Ezreal, but gets away with just a sliver of HP, leaving Verticality to push down this mid lane. These fights are dire here for Dorado as they go down 4 for 1.
Yeah, and that gold difference blooms up to 4k now. Trey Dog getting a lot of that. Yes, like he's 1.7k above his opponent, and Sivir, the biggest beneficiary, almost 3k, 2.5k up on the Ezreal now. How is Ezreal ever supposed to play the game with this much of a fed Mundo walking directly at him?
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone on Dorado that can actually like threaten the Mundo. Unless the Mundo is like taking like 50 hot tower shots, he's just not gonna die. And then even then he's just gonna press R. Yeah. It's over.
I expect
LZI,
a lot more of these objectives to go over to the side of LZI now. They were giving up a couple, the Rift Herald, the Ocean Drake initially, to kind of set up that top side. And now that Sivir's established and Mundo's a one-man wrecking crew, they pretty much have free reign to this as long as they are able to play these team fights like they played that last one, mitigate any of the overall shutdowns that they might get, and, you know, play to their win cons.
Yeah, and just looking at a brief pause coming through here as we're at the 19-minute mark of this Game 1, Group B, Week 4, Dorado Gaming, if you are just joining us, versus LZI. LZI with a very nice lead here. They were coming in as a little bit of a dark horse here with a 1-2 record against the undefeated Dorado. So they're showing, hey, we've got some life in us still. Do not count us out. We can compete with some of these bigger teams. or you know, more of the crowd favorites here, so to speak, and put up a good showing here. Apex struggled a little bit in the early game here as Trey Dog picked up several kills. Halls and USA JJ both very active on the map here in the early game. Also, we saw Yumi just casually picking up a double kill at like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This has been a ride of a game. What would you say is like the story of this matchup so far, Panda? What are you feeling about this?
It's got to be the outplays in bot lane. Versatility, verticality has been diffing Nasty a lot in these 2v2 skirmishes. And when you brought the junglers down, even then, the times that Xin Zhao came down were way more impactful than the times that the Vi came down. She's not able to get through the spell shield. She's not able to get through the Yumi healing of all things. And it causes such a rift between the members of Dog and the LZI members. They're just getting wins off of the plays that they're able to make with ultimately just their hands.
Yeah, and I'm noticing that in a lot of these team fights, we're not seeing the standard front to back. There is no bruiser on bruiser brawling. There is just chaos. You know, we're seeing people on the sides of fights, diving the back line, just running through, ignoring people. Ari's just spirit rushing on the side lanes, looking for charm. It's just absolute chaos in these fights. And I think both these teams are pretty well set up to handle these kind of chaotic sorts of fights, with Ezreal with the Arcane Shift to be able to reposition, things like that. Vi, of course, with all of her mobility. And we are loading back into the game, and it looks like Mel has died, and something has happened to where Doge is now diving tier 2 without having tier 1 down. This is the summary of the game so far. This very well explains kind of what's going on.
So for the viewers, we had a bit of a game bug. We lost about 2 minutes of gameplay. As you see, the time went from 19 to 21. It does look like in that time, Dog were able to take, I believe, 3 or 4 kills in the interim, and it looks like LZI was able to gather 2 or 3. So it's probably just a couple of trades back and forth. Obviously, we see Apex dead now. I believe Decker died somewhere in there as well. So, it still looks like an LZI 4K lead, so not much has changed in the overall map structure, but Baron is now out. They have lost the tier 1 in mid for the side of LZI, and it looks like the tier 2 for Dog in the bot lane and the top lane have both fallen.
Yeah, the side lane pressure from the Mundo is probably just a little bit too much to really handle here. But cracking that mid tier 1 is pretty important. It's a little bit late, coming in about like 20-ish minutes, right? But it's still super important to being able to like actually play the map the way that this kind of team would want to. But we're kind of cresting here into the late game where, you know, Xin Zhao and Vi are sort of starting to fall off, and Severe, Mundo, Scion, they're the ones that are really going to start to like their position in this game is going to start to dictate how these fights are going to go. As well as our Mel, who has finished the Leandries, so looking to kind of maybe threaten the Mundo. Maybe. Hopefully can do some damage to this beef wagon that's just running around. I don't think
that's going to do too much. His verticality is getting jumped on here.
I think Kibo got jumped on just a little bit more here. Okay, Wind becomes lightning, looking for something there from Halls. Is going to walk face first in the USA JJ, but he's like, I got my whole team behind me. Is going to take a huge chunk for his troubles, though. He needs to heal up a bit here as both teams are jockeying for position here around this Baron. Decker is going to get engaged on, but he's safe in the back of this pit. He's going to have to burn the Spirit Rush to get out of there. I'm surprised they didn't press the issue maybe a little bit harder. But they don't want to get caught with their pants down. Plus, Apex is having the time of his life dealing with Trey Dog here in the bot lane.
Yeah, 2 ultis forced out for the side of LZI while Dog didn't really use anything. Obviously, the Karma ulti is, what, a 25-second cooldown this stage of the game, so that's not really an ultimate that you need to worry about. Yeah. So, good for the side of Dog. Unfortunately, Trey Dog is just so massive that Apex can't deal with him in the side lane. Even if they do get mediocre wins on the sides of summoner spells or ulti usages, they just have to deal with this guy on the side.
Yeah, the win has to be commanding on the offside of Trey Dog. If it's not, then it's not really, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best. As another dragon here comes over for LZI. They're looking at Soul Point currently. As the attention is going to get focused here onto the Fed member, Trey Dog, the Mundo, in trouble. Damage coming through. There's the root. There's the armor break, but he's going to press R. The healing is cut. Halls is here to support it, though. And here comes Decker as well. There's no charm just yet. Damage is coming through onto Halls. Halls is going to be supported, and it's now a team fight as Verticality shows up on the scene. Damage coming through. Boom! Halls is going to go down, but so much damage is getting traded over USAJJ. Ezreal going down is absolute chaos as they jump forward. All members going down. Nissan running for his life. Apex getting some pity damage. Nissan, can you survive? Absolutely not. It's going to be an ace for LZI, and that should be the game.
Yeah, that's absolutely going to be the game. I mean, if you're Verticality, you're having the best game of your life. You have a Mundo with 8 gajillion health that's just got to stand there, eat up every ultimate or useful ability that the enemy team wants to throw at him, and then, you know, still not die and net you a frontline like this. It's just LZI turning this game on its head and on the back of Trey Dog, really.
Yeah, Trey Dog just setting up so much action here for Verticality, just so much space bot. And, you know, we kind of were moaning and groaning at the Yumi pick in the early game, but it saved Verticality several times there. Some of those ganks from USAJJ that would have been maybe enough to start flipping the game a little bit here in Dorado's favor. PPS with those clutch kills coming in on the Yumi, just enough healing to get Verticality out of those sticky situations. But, you know, I think this game was just so brutal out the gate. Both these teams just punching each other's faces and constantly. We were at 17 kills, I think, at 12 minutes. I want to see a draft in Game 2 that leans into that, leans into the chaos. I want to see assassins. I want to see bruisers. I want to see just destruction. What about you, Panda? How are you feeling?
I would love it. I mean, if they can do this much fighting on champs like, you know, Ezreal, Karma, and Yumi, I would love to see what they can actually do on things that want to brawl. So I'm here for that. I would like to see the junglers get a little bit more into the mix. I feel like there was just so much hands checking in bot lane and in top lane inherently that I feel like they didn't even have that much KP, you know, for either one of them, the Vi or the Xin Zhao. So if your teammates are just that good, you know, sometimes you just let them do what they do. So I would hope that Trey Dog does get his roses here. Verticality played very well, hands diffed the Ezreal a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. I'm excited for game 2.
So what do you think the switch up has to be in the top lane here? Because that was obviously a huge pain point here for Dorado. What are you feeling?
If I'm Dorado, I go red and just let my top lane have counter. Whatever he's most comfortable on that he can get counter for, I would give it to him. You know that the big guys are out of the situation, so Sion, Mundo are gone. Obviously, you can still ban things like the Ornn or the Mordekaiser if you think that Trey Dog's going to have a lot of, you know, onus on those picks. But honestly, just get whatever Apex can get as a comfortable situation and then try to either play towards him as the jungle or completely disassemble his lane, make him play Shin or something like that, where he can connect with the rest of his team. I think that was kind of the plan with the Sion, but ultimately it just didn't work out.
Yeah, and there were some times there where Apex was playing very far forward in the early game, knowing that he was in kind of like the adverse matchup, being one of the lower ranked players in this particular game. He still played pretty well, picked up some kills in the mid game. I think that early game he got maybe a little bit overzealous, got punished for it by the very experienced top laner in Trey Dog. I think if Apex can just rein it in just a little bit, right, know his limits just a little bit more, we could have a much more competitive top lane as well. And like you said, prioritize putting him on comfort so that he's not at this feeling that much of that despair, the rank disparity as well. But there were some signs of life there for Dorado. I think they can definitely pull out a very interesting game too.
I mean, yeah, Dorado is the 3-0 undefeated team in this scenario. So the fact that LZI made it so fluid that game really shows how strong LZI is as a team and shows that their 1-2 record may not be a good indicator of how strong they are. Or it could be the ultimate, you know, wake-up call for Dog, and they have to go, hey, maybe we should stop messing around. Maybe we should actually, you know, take this team seriously and then play to what our strengths were that got us to 3-0.
Absolutely. And if you want to see what happens next, does LZI go 2-0 against the big dogs? See what I did there? In Dorado, you got to stick around for after the break. We're going to be right back with Game 2, Week 4, Group B, Dorado Gaming versus LDI. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. We'll see you in a few. Good evening, guys, gals, and other pals, and welcome to Week 4, Group B of the Immortal League. Tonight, we have Dorado up against LZI. LZI already taking Game 1 in the series. Ladies and gents, I am your host, Might. Joined with me is Panda Boat, and we are just about ready to head into draft. If you're in the chat, tell us who you're rooting for, what you want to see in this game, too. Let's get active up in here as a Bard band comes through. Panda, what do you want to see in this draft?
I want to see engage from the supports. It was bloody last time, but I definitely want to see some engage. The Bard seems to be just a staple takeaway from, it looks like Kibo. So hopefully we see something that deals with that. Kibo was pretty decent on the Karma last time, did a lot to save their ADC, but ultimately Verticality did a really good job of winning the lane. I mean, when you play with a Yumi, you kind of just got to do it mostly yourself, you know? So really good job on him. And PVS did good on the Yumi too, so hey. But it does look like we have a Caitlyn and a Seraphine band, so these bands look similar to what we saw last time as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if that Akali band is also going to come out, or maybe they're saving that for round 2. Oh, it's going to be Lucian. So both these teams want to brawl, but they're banning like the spicy brawling champions. Are they gonna just have to jury rig something together like they did last game? I want to see, like you said, I want to see some. Okay, that's spicy.
That's a good pick. Now I would like to see this go towards PVS, but it wouldn't surprise me if it went towards Decker as well.
Yeah, Decker was pretty lethal on that Ahri last game, very active. This would be a much different playstyle, but still, you can get some shenanigans going with Nico, but Misfortune is going to be the counter. I don't know if that's a counter as much as I don't want to deal with Nico Misfortune for Dorado, but Nefiri as well. That's a pick I like. I love seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, this seems to be USJJ's playstyle. I want to go in, I want to do damage, I want to jump to the enemy's backline and make them deal with me as a carry. Vi, Nefiri, a lot of other champs that can do this. Nocturne is one that they've been banning, but he can do it as well. So it seems like they do have a game plan here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see like an Amumu or let's see something else that would pair well with MF. And yeah, Zyra will do it.
I like that. Yeah, Zyra's great, and that's so much damage here. If that Nico does go into PVS, this bot lane is volatile. There is a lot of damage. Also, I love the Poppy pickup into seeing Nefiri. You just snap up the Poppy, that shuts down 2 of Nefiri's abilities, makes the game so much harder to play. Really gummy here for USAJJ. I believe that's going to be a jungle Nefiri, correct? Or are they playing it in the mid lane nowadays? What are the cool kids doing with that dog nowadays?
It's sometimes in the mid lane. I think it'd be more leaning towards the jungle here. It's almost the same mid play as Nico, I would assume. So I think that both of these are going to go to support and jungle respectively, but we'll see here if Nashty wants to pick something that's, top lane focused. I think they should give that to Apex in the counter, but if he does, that Nefiri could just be looking as flex, and it looks like they picked another flex pick.
Yeah, that swing could really go anywhere. Akali still being open is a very interesting thing. I would have maybe liked to see that get snapped up, but I think that's a Nissan pick, and into Poppy, that's kind of brutal. But here's gonna be Mbessa. Oh, Trey Dog on Mbessa. That sounds deadly.
Yeah,
Apex,
that does.
You gotta watch out.
Ah, man. Okay, so I was hoping that Decker would pick Silas here. I think Silas into everything on Dog would have been a disgusting pick, but I think they're a little worried about whether Swain is going mid or the Nefiri, and it does look like it's going to be Swain. That is Apex's most played, I believe.
Apex is playing the Swain? I think Apex is on Gangplank.
No. Apex is playing the Gangplank. Yeah. Excuse me. Nissan is playing this.
Got you. Okay, so Nissan is going to play that. Okay, so the bot lane is going to be the Zyra Misfortune. Tons of damage. Nefiri in the jungle. Gangplank in the top lane with a Swain in the mid lane. So Apex plays a lot of Gangplank, but just looking at the OPGG, the win rate is a little pretty even. I think it's 49, so maybe a little. It's like, but there's comfort there, and that's what we were talking about in game 1. put Apex on Comfort. But is Comfort going to be enough to deal with Ambessa in the hands of someone like Trey Dog, who isn't afraid to run at you and just absolutely make it happen? I don't know. And there's also some other great options here. I love the Kaisa. I love the Poppy. Nico tricks, and then Syndra is just perennial in competitive play. She's always got a spot. Just brings so much to the team. I like what we're seeing here. I think this is going to be a really interesting game, and we're going to go straight into it, it looks like.
Yeah, I think LZI won out in draft. You have a clear identity and you know what you want to do. And meanwhile, Dog is like, hey, we want to kind of play this setup wombo combo team fight, and we want to keep you at arm's length, but we have a Nefiri that could want to go in, that could make plays happen. Meanwhile, you have a Poppy. You can turn a number advantage automatically through the R, through multiple different ways to knock someone out of the fight and or just disable them from doing what they want to do. If you knock MF out of her ulti with the Syndra E, if you get the Pop Blossom on the MF and or the Zyra, and even Swain, he wants to be in the middle of everything, but there's enough damage here to pop him too. So I really like this look for LZI.
Yeah, LZI, I mean, I really like it as well, and I think they might be looking to just go up 2-0 here. You say, we don't want game 3. We're going to bring up our record to 2-0 and hand you your first loss, Dorado, unless you can answer our team. And already, we see some skill shots flying out as we do hit a little bit of a pause here. Nissan looking to grab Decker in the mid lane. In the top lane, I think there was a little bit of a barrel action going on.
Yeah, I want to point out here that it looks like Apex learned his lesson. He did start a Doran's item this game. He has the Doran's blade. Last game he started with that long sword and he paid the price early. But the most interesting one is Swain here in the mid lane started Doran's helm. And it looks like he's going to stick that. And if you're playing into Syndra I don't think Swain has a range disadvantage, but it's obviously not a huge advantage either if you're not able to land the E's.
Yeah,
it'll make plays easier on you if you're trying to play that tankier bruiser style of Swain rather than, the pop. I can kill my lane opponent and then look for other plays around the map. So I'm hoping that he does kind of commit to that Rylai's, the burn item, Leandry's, to kind of be that middle ground that he can be. And if he's good enough to dodge the Poppy R, then they could have a very substantial, front to back team fight for Dog.
Yeah, but that's the question. Can you dodge the Poppy R? Now, granted, if you do buy Zhonya's, you can just be like, all right, I'm just going to get here in the middle of the fight, pop Zhonya's, and then you can hold on to that Keeper's Verdict if you want, while I just slowly tick damage on everyone. I think knocking out the Swain, like you said, is probably going to be pretty critical in these fights. Otherwise, looking to maybe just bang it onto the Misfortune when she channels her ulti. It has quite a bit of range on it, so you can reach pretty far. But ideally, they're setting up a bullet time that's off like a Zyra, E into R, and then some more shenanigans. But yeah, the composition is looking a little bit disjointed here for Dorado. Like you said earlier, they have like half of the team wants to wombo, the other half wants to kind of like skirmish brawl. So yeah, I'm hearing through the grapevine that Riot's client, 200 years of small indie game development, is causing some issues right now, and therefore we are having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's always when they do the big push outs. I remember Tuesday, the night before patch, they were prepping everything, and literally the game was down for like 3 or 4 hours. So hopefully it gets back up. We're trying to get back in right now, but every time Riot wants to push out big updates, they end up breaking the game. And the biggest update of all, new character lock, got a lot of small things that they have to fix with that. So unfortunately, we won't see him for the next 2 weeks as he is disabled in the league. But I'm excited for that guy to show up in pro play and in, amateur leagues.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about Locke. I know he's kind of like got a little bit of a Vayne passive going on, like 3 auto type thing. He's got an ult that like, if you run away from him, it does something. I don't know. I saw the champion spot like once. so what's going on with that guy?
It's not an auto. He has a 3-proc Q where if he lands all his nails, he will actually do damage. But it does look like we're getting back in the game, and 2 kills have gone over. Top lane, Trey Dog, of course, got his kill. Did burn both sums, but it looks like Apex burned both sums as well. And it was a 1-for-1 trade on a jungle gank because USAJJ got the kill.
Yeah, so that actually kind of nets for LZI, but Verticality is going to get caught out of position here. There is no hope here. USAJJ picking up 2 kills for himself. Apex going very, very low here as the counter jungle comes through. Hall's not going to let that one go unanswered. Does pick up the kill there in the top lane.
Yeah, and if I'm the side of LZI after the game that Trey Dog had last time, I'm like, him getting 2 kills versus USAJJ getting 2 kills, I'll take that any day of the week. And even in the gold discrepancy, there's a 500 gold almost lead here for LZI as we have another bit of tech issue here. Apologies. But LZI is looking good this early in the game.
Yeah, and there's so much action here for the Ambessa in the late game. Like, Miss Fortune has to stand still to channel that ulti. So it's going to be a game of chicken. If you ever stop to bullet time, well, public execution's coming your way. You better be prepared to deal with that. And right now, it's not just going to be a regular Ambessa public execution, which is already terrifying enough as it is, as an ADC in the good year of our Lord 2026. But this is going to be a 2-in-1, potentially even bigger Ambessa by the time we reach that stage of the game. So already things are looking pretty good for the LZI. Snowball into potentially just taking a 2-0 sweep here to even out their record here for LZI.
Yeah, content prediction was that Dorado was going to win this series 2-1. So it's still on track for what was expected. However, LZI obviously wants to 2-0. They want to win the game. And fun fact about Ambessa public execution, it dodges turret range. So most ultis where you snap to a character, you usually come out behind them. Zed, things of that nature. Ambessa's will take turret range into effect and put her to the left, right, or front of you if you are under turret. Yeah, it's one of the cool things that I literally learned like yesterday. But
whoa,
I thought
crazy.
it was interesting. Yeah, unfortunately, Zed and a couple other people with that ability don't get the same love they do. But
they're not new enough.
Yeah, they're not new enough. They don't get that 200 years of experience. That is something that we could look for if Trey Dog does come down and look for a dive, or if they have a level 6 setup where they want to dive mid turret after lanes have swapped or something like that. So maybe something that happens, but it does look like we are having a lot of issues, not just in this game, but overall tonight. Riot seems to be having their flare up. Hopefully this is all sorted by this weekend, because obviously this weekend is MSI and everybody's looking forward to watching T1 play TL. I mean, I hope all the NA fans are in the chat. So,
well, looking forward to another disappointing year.
I mean, it's
is it
T1,
disappointing if it's been this long?
Yeah,
it's T1.
Anymore.
Okay, everybody loves T1, but like NA. Zero action for how many years has League been around?
All of them pretty much. Yeah, I think the best case was like C9 in 2018 Worlds or something like that. We placed 4th.
Yeah.
But yeah. We'll have to see how well we can fare this year. Obviously, coming in against the reigning champs is not fun, with T1 looking relatively good as they played in the LCK this season, or so far the split. From what I've watched, I haven't got to catch all their games, but they did have some pretty good ones against Hano Life. So, but yeah, overall, I'm trying to root for TL as much as possible. But when you're going against Faker and my little brother Carrier and all those guys, it's tough. It's really tough.
Oh, dude, love Carrier. I think every support looks up to Carrier in ways that you just can't understand unless you play the role.
Yeah,
but anyways,
it's up and down Halls. As we hop back in the game.
Hall's in trouble here, going very low. USAJJ is going to pick it up, answering that kill that was picked over. As Trey Dog now running for his life. He's going to get hit by the Eye of the Empire. Pulled back. There's the Q. One more. Damage is coming through, but Decker here to protect. Oh, there's the flash forward. Nissan wants this. There's so much damage coming through on a Trey Dog, but Trey Dog is trying to trade it back. Not enough. Oh, just barely. Not enough damage off the Syndra ulti. Decker looking for it. Eye of Empire one more time. Damage slow is going to come through. Dashing through. Follows the flash. Is going to get pushed away. And USAJJ. Oh, bleed. You can never count the dog out, because that's going to be a kill going over there for USAJJ. I think that's overall pretty good play there for Dorado.
Yeah, so maybe Trey Dog 2 kills and USAJJ 2 kills were not equal as we thought, as USAJJ now has 5 and is looking to lead Dorado into, maybe a reverse sweep here. During the whatever you want to call it, bug, break, however it goes. It did look like Nico picked up a kill, and then subsequently it looked like Kaisa picked up a kill as well somewhere in there. But obviously, kill score now 4 to 6, favoring the side of Dorado as another skirmish breaks out here in the bot lane.
PBS in a lot of danger there. Last one's going to come through, but the killer instinct to flash forward picks up the kill. Verticality trading over onto Misfortune. That's an ADC for support. Verticality likes that. It's a little bit better when the ADC gets to live, gets to farm a little bit more, pick up some of that CS. Apex running into a little bit of trouble here in the top lane. Trade Dog, smack, smack, smack. Grasp of the Undying is going to go over. Both top laners at half HP. I think it's going to calm down a little bit, but we've seen these guys just keep running at each other. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few seconds, something's going to happen in this top lane.
Yeah, it looks like Hells is moving up here as well onto the Grubs. And Trade Dog just face checks USAJJ, who already has that Cyclo Sword done. It looks like he's going to keep chasing this down. Yeah.
There's the ulti. Does USAJJ go for the dive? It's not going to be the dive. There's the bullet time. Doesn't pick up anything, though, but Swain does die in the mid lane there. To a gank. Gank from Nico. Verticality, farming solo under tower right now. Picks up, gets hit by the roots, but isn't going to go down. There is no bullet time for Fresnat. Oh.
Yeah, and I believe that was just a minion gank from Nico in the mid. Like, hey, can you count right now? Unfortunately, Swain could not. And it doesn't even look like PVS burned the ulti, or maybe it was level 5, ticked over level 6 after the kill went down. So, does look like there's just going to be a little bit of break here in the action. Another big one, though. 13. Never mind.
Oh, public execution in the top lane is going to get orange right away, though. Apex is surviving. Very, very low. That orange was pretty clutch. I don't know if that was frame perfect, but it was pretty damn close.
That was really close.
That was a very good orange from Apex.
Trade Dog just said, hey, I'm going to send it. Let's see if you have the hands. And Apex checked it out. So, Cyclo Sword also done for Trade Dog as well here.
Ooh, Kibo going very, very low here. No killer instincts, or otherwise I'm sure that Verse would have just smacked that button real quick. Is going to force the recall there from Kibo. USAJJ and Nissan here picking up some dragon control as Grubs are going to go over. Hall's picking that up. Back to farm.
Yeah,
Dragon's going to get traded here for USA.
All 3 Grubs going to LZI, which I don't think is much of a big contest this game. I do think it would actually have been better on Dorado, so it's good that they actually steal that away from the likes of the Gangplank and even the MF at times where she is able to pressure tower. But there was a moment there where both Gangplank and MF threw their ultis down, and it was like a fiesta on both sides of the map. Unfortunately, neither one of those netted kills, but it did blow Trade Dog's flash, so it will be in just a moment that Apex will have flash advantages. He's getting beat up here at the top.
Autos. That Cyclo Sword does so much damage. Whap, whap. I think it was 3 autos and half your HP. There it is, the bullet time! Oh, the Garden of Death gets laid down by Kibo under tower versus nowhere to run. That's going to be it. The old-fashioned combos. Love to see it. So much damage. PBS not out of the woods yet. So much damage coming through. USA has plenty of damage to lock this one up. 2 kills going over to Dorado.
Yeah, now
and it's not over. Just Hex flash over in the mid lane. Nissan going very, very low, but is life stealing ton of it up. Halls is going very low. Gets picked up on the way out. Takes one too many tower shots. Apex is now fighting against Trade Dog. Trade Dog's going very low. There's the burn. Apex picks up the solo kill in the top lane. The comfort on Gangplank paying off as Decker now running for his life on the Syndra. Kibo flashes the grasp. Gets ignited though. Walking away. Itching away. Not enough burn. Makes it to safety. Chaos across the map right now in this game too.
Every member of Dorado just said, hey, I know that you thought we were losing, but I'm going to tell you why we're 3-0, okay? And even Apex getting the solo bolo there was massive. And this is kind of the support jungle tandem that I was talking about could happen if they get more engaged, focused supports. Granted, Zyra's not engaged, but her ulti does exactly what it needs to do for MFs in the setup. And we saw that on display as Kaisa got locked up underneath tower and killed from half a lane away.
Yeah, 1 root is all it takes. You don't have to be like a crazy Nautilus engage or Leona engage to just, if you happen to land a root, you throw it out there and it lands. You're probably dead, to be honest. Between bullet time and the Zyra ulti there, the Strangle Thorns, you are cooked. You are chopped up. But yeah, so that's a deadly combo in the bot lane, even if it's not. It's kind of classic. I think the really classic was like Ashe Zyra, but this is kind of like the reverse of that, where Zyra is setting up for the misfortune. So I'm getting some reminiscence of like some of those early like 2016 comps. But Halls on the run. Oh, that's really nice. The force of will knocking USA out of his ulti, getting his jungler to safety. Oh, there it is. There's the Pop Blossom. There's the Strangle Thorns, though. PBS is going to go down very, very quickly, though. Verticality focusing damage there onto Narcy. Narcy's going to go down. Kibo's in trouble, but USAJJ, oh, what a flash from versatility. Gets under tower. Damage is now getting piled back onto USAJJ. That's going to be just enough to get Verse to safety. What a great flash there from Verse. Great hands from all these players. I mean, it's LP 120 or 1200. What would you expect? Apex and Trey Dog now fighting in the top lane. Apex won this last time. Trey Dog wants revenge, but he's not gonna get it! There it is, the solo kill from Apex. Cannon Barrage coming through, and the Trabi fire that burn does so much damage if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is showing their hands right now. Verticality, absolutely fantastic flash. I think probably one of the best flashes I've seen in a long time. Does manage to escape that play, and then Trey Dog, I feel like it's just a bit of I'm better than
USA. Invading the red buff is going to get smited away. There's the Eye of Empire to get the slow, but the damage is too much. USA cans over a massive shutdown there. It does go onto the support, but Apex picking up the top tower solo in the top lane. Halls thought it was caught out, but flipped it around really quick to pick up that shutdown, though.
And shout out Decker. Absolutely stuffing everything that JJ wants to do, whether it was that double knockback or it was just simply being there on the rotation so he can help his jungler. If they win this game from the side of LZI, it's going to be on the back of Verticality and Decker.
Yeah, Decker, those Force of Will is super clean. There's a reason why Syndra is perennial in competitive play, and I think 90% of that is the Force of Will. Just such a strong disengage tool. Oh, Trey Dog getting ran down now by Apex, the public execution, trying to get himself away, but between Ignite and the Bratatat of the parlay, you're gonna go down. That's the third solo kill here for Trey Dog.
Yeah.
Or sorry, for Apex. On
for
Trey
Apex,
Dog.
yeah, but it's payback from last game. There's nothing else.
Oh yeah.
Trey Dog just wants to like, hey, I'm better than you, and Apex is like, this is my main champ. I know this guy. I may not have played well on the Scion, but you gave me Gangplank. I think I can play this one. So we'll have to see if he's able to maybe move around the map now. The Gangplank is going to be a beast in the side lane, and obviously going to have to be omnipresent because of that global ultimate. But if Trey Dog is able to link up, play around the Kai'Sa ulti, play around the Nico ulti, stuff like that can really turn the tides in team fights. So.
Yeah, and the gold lead here. Oh, but Trey Dog, he still wants it. Died 3 times solo in a row, but says, I still want that smoke. Has to burn flash for it. They're both very, very low here. But Trey Dog now distinctly flashless. Decker walking up, maybe hoping, burns the ghost, and is now on the hunt, looking for that Force of Will to get that stun. Needs to get that stun, but even then it's going to get orange. So what's the plan after that? It's enough damage. The ultimate might be able to take it. There's the stun. No orange just yet. Trey Dog is going to pick it up, though. Gets revenge and a shutdown onto Apex with the help of Decker. Like you said, Decker's helping out so much in this game.
It's all about Decker here. That nice flash from PVS, though, does able to get out of that ulti combination there. But, yeah, Decker's moving around the map, playing second jungle here for the side of LZI. Hell's doing a decent job of keeping his bot lane alive here. Obviously, good job by PBS getting out, but Verticality now in a bad spot.
Ooh, the double root. That's a lot of damage there onto Kibo, and Kibo is going to go down. They're going to trade supports. USA diving onto the support, but Verticality kind of baiting a little bit with Hall's support, but not going to take the bait. USA JJ is just going to walk away. Both supports get traded up. Oh, Trey Dog. Trey Dog. He does just walk it out. Nissan looking for some action is not going to be able to get.
Yeah. I'm kind of... I don't know what to say about this PVS play in the bot lane. Like, he's wanting to be active. He's wanting to do things, but when when you're at such an arm's reach of a character like Zyra or MF, who now has the BT, is looking like they're going to build the collector next item. So definitely not somebody you want to trade autos or even be in close range of, as they have all the damage that they possibly could want. It becomes like you need to be even sneakier than the sneaky tomato was at the beginning. So I'm hoping that she's able to move around the map, maybe pretend to be Decker, look like she's palatable, and then able to turn the Pop Blossom onto multiple members of the side of Dorado. But it doesn't look like they're gonna have that opportunity currently.
Yeah, no, just swarming here in the topside river is Dorado. Maybe looking to ingress a little bit. Gonna pop that ward here and just walk away. Herald is on the table, but they do not deign to go for it. Decker popping a plate in the bot lane. But there is some action here around. I think they do want this Herald. They're just waiting for the whole team to show up. And I think it's going to get handed over as Decker is on the wrong side of the map, and I think they really do need him to make this fight happen. But Hall's looking for some action. Misfortune slightly, but not quite enough out of position for them to pull the trigger. And I think we are just going to reset here. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Maybe some top lane shenanigans as Apex is running forward.
No.
Is this going to be... Oh, it's going to be a battle! It's going to be another battle to the death, and Traydog has the damage now to finally pull it out. That shutdown was huge. Finishes the Spear of Shojin, and now it's 2 items to 2 items, and a cloak. But it's enough for Traydog to feel confident taking that now.
Yeah, and this will probably be mid lane for the side of Dorado falling over here, unless USAJJ is able to get a nice ulti. But they did have Halls in the wings. Unfortunately, he's now pathing down. So if they are able to land a Zyra route here, it could be death for the side of LZI. They're just going to back off.
Yeah, I think they smell that one. I think Halls was on the way up to kind of like support it, and then they're like, I think we're a little too late to this. So they very wisely back up. Just let Traydog do work in the top lane. Picks up that tier 1. And yeah, it looks like we're going to just kind of reset, chill out just a little bit in these very bloody matches. Looking at 26 kills here at 19 minutes. Both of these games have averaged over a kill a minute. So they are fighting.
Yeah, and it's really good that they were able to take that tier 1 mid tower down, because next dragon's up in 1:20, and Dorado's already had 2 dragons stacked so far. So if they are able to get this next one, it could be very detrimental for the way the LZI has to play the game. Like we talked about coming in, there was a bit of a collage of ways that Dorado wanted to play the game, but now that you have a relatively fed Nefiri who can just dive any member of the opposing team, and you have the stabilization of MF at 2 items, possibly 2.5 by the time we get the dragon, they are going to be able to play the way they want to.
Oh, but Kibo's out of position there, here in the river, and bot side river, dash gonna come through. Strangle Thorns isn't coming enough to get you to safety. Misfortune now on the back foot, running for her life. Verticality with the damage. There's so much coming. Oh, but that's gonna be the end of Verticality. Chases just a little bit too far as PBS now on the wrong side of this fight. 2 going down for 1. Just getting a little too big for their britches there here in this river fight.
Yeah, and it's kind of throwing me that we're getting caught out at this level. I mean, I understand that there's bloodthirstiness from both sides, but kind of looks like a salty Tebow game that I've watched a time or two. And I'm just hoping that these teams can stabilize, because at this pace, it definitely just looks like Dorado's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the lore, the story between these two teams, but they are fighting as if there's some kind of ancient grudge, rivalry, blood feud happening. Because in the hands department, this looks like a 1200 LP game. In the macro department, this looks like we're in the pits of despair, just absolutely slugging it out, almost ARAM. So, I mean, it's got to be a lot of fun for these players, though. I bet both of these teams are just having the time of their lives, win or lose in these games, getting to flex their stuff. It's just, and it makes for great telly, what you got to say.
Yeah, I was afraid that it was just going to be a little bit too slow, and now I'm afraid it won't slow down at all. I mean, the goal, even regardless of the kills, there are 3 dragons to the side of Dorado, but I'm gonna bet that there's gonna be a lot more fighting before we get to the next one. So no idea who's gonna get it. And the biggest gold disparity here is in the jungle. We saw about 3.5, 3K gold lead for the Nefiri, which I mean it's very obvious. She's up 8 kills and has 2.5 items over the Poppy
Right.
here. But the thing is, Poppy's job is just to negate and stop a lot of what Nefiri wants to do. If you have your W up, if you have your R, you kind of just have inherent value. So I want to see if Nefiri can play this, get their hands, you know, keep checking everybody, and then verticality. How do you outplay on your side? You're the gold leader for your team. Are you going to be able to take down 1 or 2 or 3 members in a team fight and actually win the fight?
Yeah, it's what we've kind of been seeing in at least some of these skirmishes is like this trading kind of scenario happening where USA just dives into the backline and then verticality's like, all right, I'm gonna killer instinct into your backline, and I have the damage to kind of back it up, and I have the damage to back it up, and it's just who melts the squishies faster. So I don't know, are they gonna adjust their playstyles to kind of like try to mind games each other? Like, okay, you're overcommitting to this dive, I'm here waiting for you now, which is kind of what we saw USA JJ do in that last river fight around that blue buff, because USA JJ was there, just jumped on verticality, and verticality popped in an instant. But the flip could absolutely happen if USA JJ dives onto somebody, maybe somebody like Decker or Trey Dog or PVS, and verticality is waiting in the wings to just pop him instantaneously. So there's kind of like, I think there's some mind games that need to happen here with how both of these players, who, as you rightly noted, are kind of like the carries of these fights. But Decker, a little bit out of position, does not get the recall off in time. Ghost is going to get popped. There's the stun. There's the flash to get out of the roots, and Safe has to pop both summoners, but you're alive. Well played. Good escape there from Decker.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest escapes. Again, people showing their game knowledge, people showing their prowess, their hands, all in all. LZI is kind of winning in the hands department right now, as you see Trey Dog even win the trade, and they got the tier 2 in mid.
Oh, there's the pop loss and baiting him in, but he is going to go invulnerable. Nissan picks up the kill on a PBS, and now the fight is looking very dangerous. Halls goes down. Verticality running for his life, does dodge out the Eye of Empire, but all eyes are now focused here on the Baron for Dorado Gaming as they eye that global buff. Bot tower goes down. Apex, where is he? Oh, he's right here with the team. They're taking Baron right now. Dorado wants this Baron to start making the push happen, but the counter push is happening on the opposite side of the map. What are we thinking is going to happen from here?
I mean, it's just an unfortunate catch out. You did get the tier 2 in mid. You kind of just needed to leave. You knew multiple members were rotating over. Even Trey Dog had Apex in his sights when he started to move. But now you're playing on the back foot. They have Baron, and you've yet to have a 5v5. I know that you want to dive. You have a game plan in place where your whole team can just go, but you've yet to do anything to actually make that happen. Trey Dog has not been with the team, or the fact that Dorado has been rotated quicker in every instance, even with the Swain who has no actual movement ability. It's kind of, you know, unfortunate that LZI has been at this pace. But if they want to win this game, they need to group up, they need to pick a target, and they need to delete that person off the map. Preferably USAJJ being the biggest gold lead, but it's most likely going to be Misfortune.
Yeah, the Misfortune's the easier target for sure, but USAJJ is probably the higher priority target in terms of what's going to flip this fight. It looks like we are running into a little bit more client issues here at a very strange time. I just want to note the time. We're at 25 minutes right now. It is 12-19. 1K gold lead here in favor of Dorado Gaming. For those of you who may be just joining us, we are in Game 2, Group B of the Immortal League. Dorado Gaming versus LZI. LZI leads the series 1-0 as a little bit of a dark horse coming into this. It's a little bit of an underdog upset here, but they are looking a little bit shaky here as Dorado has claimed the Baron, is getting ready for their push here at the 25-minute mark. So the story of the game and the series in general has just been a lot of bloodshed if you are just now joining us. And yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
So
now
that we have a chance to breathe and catch our breath here, and so I don't know. Maybe Prod can answer this question. Is the game also paused for the players right now, or is it just for us for spectating? Because if it's paused for the players, maybe they can, do some. It's not paused for the players. Oh no, it's just a spectator bug. Oh, that's tragic. So they're absolutely losing their minds, pumped full of adrenaline right now. No chance to catch your breath. But we get a chance to maybe figure out what's gonna happen next time we load in.
It's
Taking bets, anyone?
It's like watching a slideshow and then 2 of the slides are missing, and you just come back and you go, "Oh, that happened. That's unfortunate." But I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the onus coming into this series was that hey, mids are volatile. Mids are gonna play weird and wacky things. And from what we've seen, it's been the bot lanes and the top lane that have just been we're gonna hand check you. We're gonna fight. We're gonna make it happen regardless of what we're on. And I've been excited by it. I mean, we saw Yumi get a double kill. I don't think many people can say that at like 2.5 minutes into a game.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 minutes. Okay, so we're fast forwarded 4 minutes. The gold lead is completely even. Soul has been claimed here by Dorado, and Baron is off. So I think they used the Baron to claim Soul, more or less, while keeping the gold lead relatively intact.
I believe. Okay, so LZI picked up 5 kills, and Dorado picked up 4. That's how the gold stayed even though they got Baron and a Dragon. But now, this is what my team always says when we lose Soul. When you lose Soul, you just open up the Elder Win Con. That's how it goes. So LZI is playing for the Elder Win Con, and they have a good chance of doing it. They have a 7-4 Kaisa who has the Zonias completed now, so we'll be able to fight along, and then possibly pop the Zonias and play the fights more extended. But you get Elder, you get a couple of good looks, you get a kill, it's over, and Baron just spawned right now, so this ARAM situation we have going on is over that.
Yeah, all 5 members of Dorado are here, while Trey Dog is elected to push the side lane. TP is available, but Baron is going to be the look right now. What does LZI want to do? It looks like they're ignoring Baron and just shoving mid. Maybe just to get Prio here, but Baron is going very, very low. 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1. That's a smite away. USAJJ is going to claim it for Dorado. Hall is going to knock him out. But there he is. He's locked up. Gets away. Public execution. Apex gets away from that. Pop Blossom picks up 2. There's the curse. The bullet time. Kibo goes down. It's Chaos. Verticality running for his life. Decker on the back foot. Nissan pushing forward with all his might. Verticality gets away. USAJJ is going to dodge out, dash away that thing. Misfortune looking for Verticality. Verticality's one shot. Playing a dangerous game around these bushes right now. Trey Dog looking as well. USAJJ trying to get some vision there, but Misfortune takes 1 step too far. Does pick up first. USAJJ too low to contest Trey Dog. As the resets are going to come out, Baron is only retained on USAJJ. I'd say that's about as good as you could hope for if you're LZI.
I don't understand what I just saw. It was a game of chicken, but it's like one person's driving a Hummer and the other person's on a bicycle, and F was just like, I'm not dealing with Trey Dog, and rightfully so, as we saw him he walks into the bush and gets absolutely one shot. JJ wasn't able to kill Trey Dog, and he's just so massive at this point of the game. I said earlier that it was going to be on the back of Decker and Verticality, but Trey Dog's showing us why he is the guy in this game. He's played well in Game 1, absolutely the reason they won. In Game 2, he's probably the reason that they're so far still in it.
Yeah, and like Apex was getting a lot of solo kills early on. He's still pretty threatening in terms of, he's a 3-item Gangplank looking close to his 4th. But Trey Dog just finishes that 4th item a little bit earlier and just a bit more deadly. Oh, so much getting thrown onto the clone there. Nico is sneaky. Oh, but the Elder is up now as LZI positioning, looking for the right angle here. Some clones coming out, Verticality throwing some W's, testing the waters. Trey Dog is here. No TP available. Halls goes in, but nothing is going to come of it. There's the root. Lots of damage going through onto Halls. Trickle Swords comes through, and that's the Q. Bullet time. Gonna pick it up, and now the path is cleared for Dorado to look towards this Elder. I don't think there is a contest in the tank for LZI.
You have to at this point. If they get those 2 massive double buffs, it will be a very big problem. But the problem for them is Trey Dog's still alive. Onto the back line. Not gonna manage
execution. Reposition. Put lots of 4 members, but it doesn't go up. Dies right before it could go up. That might have been massive, but coulda, woulda, shoulda does not win championships as Elder Drake goes down to 3,000 HP. The smite is gonna come through. And that's going to be Elder Drake for Dorado. Is there anything that can stop the 3-0 Maverick?
I don't think this is enough to finish the game. I'm checking the death timers. The only one dead for that long is Trey Dog now. They don't have a great wave here in the mid lane, and Kaisa clears pretty well if she's not absolutely one-shot by USAJJ here, along with Syndra. So I think this is just going to be a push a wave. and Bessa respawns in 15 seconds, and we're gonna have to back off. Yeah.
Yeah, that buys a lot of time there for LZI. The Elder is ticking. Are they able to reset and get another push out in time to have some of that Elder buff? What is Elder, 2 minutes, I believe?
2.5, I believe.
2.5. So
it'll be relatively
if everybody
close to
resets right now and
falling
gets
off,
out, yeah, they get like a minute of push. So they got to move quick. And just looking at the movement out of base, I don't think they're going for the push. I don't think they're making. They're trying to end the game off this Elder. Yeah, another reset coming through from USAJJ. So I think they're just going to be playing for the next Baron. So the game continues on. Interesting.
I can tell you this, though. It's only 34 minutes by game time, but if you lose this game, either side, you're going to be very upset. There's been multiple team fights that have came down to literal one person alive for each team. There's been multiple times where somebody's been caught out, should have died, didn't. Syndra flash ghost in the top side. Verticality with the amazing flash in bot. JJ getting out with 1 HP early on in the game probably would have been a huge shutdown. So if I'm the side of LZI, kudos for sticking in there so long and possibly taking this game and ending the series 2-0. If I'm the side of Dorado, I am heated. I want to win this game and I want to win it now.
Yeah, now, because like this is going in as the favorite, right? Going in, granted, 2-1 favorite is what people were saying. You know, these games, first game was a loss, obviously. The second game is looking very, very close, very, very dicey. You're not stamping your mark on this game, right? You're showing that it's competitive. So you know, that's I think you're absolutely right. I think if you're Dorado, you're kind of in the hot seat. You've got, you know, more to lose, whereas if you're LZI, you've got more to prove. So both of these teams are feeling the pressure in this game too.
And I just want to point out some item disparities as we get to roughly 70,000 per team. It does look like Poppy only has 3 items here to the 4.5 on the Fury.
Yeah,
but
that's brutal.
They're 2 tank items and a healing item. You get, like I said earlier, Poppy has that inherent value. So if she is able to live that first burst that they had picked her with that last time with the MF ulti into Zyra ulti, or, you know, in the reverse rather, it will mean her team likely just wins the fight.
Yeah, and honestly, like, she's valuable for her utility. She's not valuable necessarily for her damage. She needs to survive long enough to utilize that utility. If she can bait out some of these big spells onto, like, just her, and the team is in a position to then punish that, I think that there's some action here. It's not necessary that she needs to be this huge monster like USAJJ is. And I think you clocked it right in the head there. As a death bush here getting set up, gotta love the classics, right?
Yeah, but that's you're death bushing against the Nico. It's almost impossible as the Baron is getting ripped to shreds right now. Already almost half health, and LZI's gonna have to be quick about this if they want to fight it.
Yeah, no vision. There's the pop away as the next Baron. I think this is the 3rd Baron of the game going over for Dorado as the team fight breaks out. Pop Blossom onto just 1. Apex going down. Baron getting popped there. The GA Nissan in a lot of trouble here as 3 members bearing down as Trey Dog runs for his life. Apex channeling the recall, trying to get out of there. Misfortune is going to pick up the kill there on a Trey Dog, and I think that's going to be a 1-for-1 at the end of the day. Baron going over to Dorado.
I don't think that's what you want for the side of LZI. I think Trey Dog has been a very powerful member, but at least to stave off some of the issues that you've been dealing with in the front to back, Swain dying is huge for you. Now you can possibly look to jump on a member like Misfortune or Zyra in the back line. It's going to be heavy on how Dorado plays these waves and pushes these towers down. I still don't think this Baron is enough to end the game, though.
And with Elder spawning in a minute 30, critically, we need to look at the summoner spells. Swain is not going to have flash. Misfortune is not going to have flash. GP is not going to have flash. Trey Dog is not going to have flash on the Best. Syndra is not going to have flash. ADC flash advantage goes over to LZI for this Elder fight. So we have to see, but USAJJ still does have his flash available. So there's a little bit of a give and take here. We're going to have to see if these summoner spell cooldowns are going to make a big impact here as Elder is getting ready to spawn in just a minute here.
Yeah, and you want your Kai'Sa to be in range if you're Trey Dog. That way you can actually double up on the ults if you do land on a Misfortune. I do like this Zyra's itemization. She actually went the tank support item and it's gonna keep her alive a little bit longer, as well as having the shattered, or not shattered rather, the intact arm guard. So if she does get jumped on by Trey Dog, she will be able to live a lot of that early damage. I believe somebody had GA who died in the last fight and it popped it. So yes, it was the misfortune. So Trey Dog doing his job in, you know, getting onto the targets that they need to get on, but it's going to be on LZI, the rest of LZI, typically verticality, to follow up on that.
Yeah, and playing these fights is pretty tricky for verticality unless you can get really deep into that back line. But then you're it's kind of a non-bow with Decker, who is really the other star of the show here, the mainstay of damage and utility. So if they try to play front to back, you're setting yourself up for some very strange scenarios where you're running into bullet times and things like that. But if you're hard diving, there's a chance that you just get peeled. So these fights can be a little tricky here for LZI to navigate, as Elder has spawned and LZI is taking up pole position here in the river.
Yeah,
they're threatening to end with the Baron.
Don't like the way Dorado positioned themselves. They got Swain a back off before they even wanted to come and contest vision here, and now Trey Dog's on the backside.
Yeah, damage is coming through. There's the bullet time. PBS is going to go down. Gonna get knocked away. Elder's getting very low. 2,000, 1,000. Gonna get smited. That's Elder for LZI. And now they get to run through the fight. Boom! Nissan goes down. There's the Crypt Bloom healing up the team. Oh, Apex going very, very low in the back line. USAJJ very, very, very low as well. Burns that flash very critically. Verse looking for an opportunity to get in, but does not get it. It is just going to end up being 2-for-1 in favor of Dorado, as Dorado are pushing down, but they do not have Elder. Elder is up on Trey Dog, Verse, and Decker, the three members you absolutely want it to be on, as Trey Dog is looking to defend this tower.
We've had, what, 3 or 4 Barons now? This is the second Elder. What is it going to take to end this game for either side? The gold is negligible at this point. You're 41 minutes into the game. It looks like a 2.5K gold difference here. And you're not able to actually do anything to kill either side effectively enough to end the game.
Yeah, like percentage-wise, if you just... 2K gold lead in the early game. Yeah, that's important. 2K gold lead at this point. It's just, it doesn't really mean a whole lot.
Nothing,
the only thing is that if you're already full build, you are getting weaker, if that makes any sense. So Poppy has a lot of headway, right, to build some more items to kind of catch up. And that might be the X factor that starts winning these fights. Because Dorado already is full build. They've shown us everything they're going to show us damage-wise, right, numbers-wise. There's a little bit, that critical flash there from Kibo, very, very well done. Public Execution does not land on anything, as they're trying to make use of the last, maybe minute here of this Elder Drake to siege up LZI. Oh, but gets caught out of position, Halls! That's not gonna be good, goes down, and now it's a 4v5. As they're running down 2 GAs up, Apex and Misfortune. Nasty with that, Kibo, that's a lot of damage. Ooh,
yeah,
that's dangerous.
I thought that was the fake Halls for a second, so PVS actually duped me. I was like, oh man, they burned the ultis onto the clone and it's not enough. Is they're just gonna continue to run down mid?
Over your troll! ADC
no.
diff, Nasty says, I just get to flash forward and smack you. I don't care if you have Elder, it does not matter. Oh, misses the force of will. Misfortune is just running amok here in the front line. Afraid of nothing. Damage! Is the burn gonna be enough? Not quite. Oh, Decker wants to finish it though. At least pop that GA, as the eyes are set here for Dorado on the Twin Towers. Oh, first one's gonna go down. Nexus Towers are going very, very low. Public Execution whiffs. Going in on the Misfortune. Pop Blossom is gonna pick up 3, 4, but the Zonia's is gonna be enough. Halls is now alive, trying to save the game desperately, but Misfortune Nasty is just autoing, wailing on the Nexus, and is this the way the game is gonna end? Absolutely, as Dorado makes it a series, taking it 1-1.
That is literally one of the worst ways I've ever seen a game end. That was absolute. Just I can't even explain it. Oh my goodness.
Flash forward from Nasty. Oh my god. Can you believe
what Dorado? Good job. I feel like you're happy winning that game. You stay alive in the series and you still get to keep your win streak, possibly if you win game 3, but man, is your coach chewing you out?
No, there
yeah.
strong words are being had right now in a Discord call somewhere. That is, oof, yeah. But oh my goodness, I mean, what a banger! What was that? A 45-minute game, somewhere just shy of an hour. That's
40 odd
and
minute.
see, and I think this is where like experience and stamina comes into play as well, because like this is we're creeping into a 5-game set time length, right? Like this could have been a best of 3, right? And so after that game, you really need to be able to reset the mental and come in fresh. You know what you're in for. You've seen 2 games already. You know it's going to be a brawl. You know it's going to be an absolute battle from both sides. It's going to get tedious. It's going to get tight. How do you plan and prepare for this game 3 so that you can show which of these teams really deserves this win? I don't know. What do you think,
if you're
Panda?
LZI, you have to just, I guess, it's go back red side and give Trey whatever he wants top. I said that for the same thing for Apex, and like I feel like Apex didn't actually make a huge difference this game. I think this game was definitely a jungle diff. If I had to lay it down flat. I think Decker played amazingly. I think both ADCs played very well. I think both supports were kind of meh in that sense. But I mean, the Nefiri just ran the game from minute 2 to until they ended right there, pretty much. She did have fallen off, but like you said, you get 6 items. Technically, you're getting weaker over the course of the game. So I would expect him to give Trey Dog a matchup that he wants to play, something on the red side that will net them bigger wins like they had in game 1, maybe some side lane pressure, and then just turn the game from there if LZI wants to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think something that's a little understated for LZI right now, Trey Dog, absolutely. Big flashy plays, huge top laner. We see that. I think Decker is going a little bit under the radar here. That play on the Syndra, I think I want to see him on control mages. I think he could do work on an Orianna. I think he could do work on an Azir. I want to see him on control mages. I think he's got a lot of talent, and I think that he's got a lot of good positional awareness. And if we can kind of rally around his kind of game plan, I think the team will find a lot more success than these chaotic, just nonsense fights where they're just throwing everything at the wall. I don't know if you agree with me, but that's kind of like my instinct. Just looking
I
at
would
the game
definitely
objectively.
say that that's correct. I also would like to see verticality on something that can be a playmaker again. I think he did very well on the Sivir, which is like a mediocre playmaker, very standard kit. He did very well on the Kaisa. Unfortunately, didn't have a whole lot he could do when he got to a certain point of the game, and he just had to play it at arm's reach from everything. But something like the Yunara, something like the Zeri, something that he's comfortable on, that he can be a playmaker, I think could really go far in game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you want to find out what these teams are locking in here in Game 3, you got to stick around because we're going to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Game 3, LZI, Dorado Gaming coming at you shortly. All right, and welcome to Game 3! LZI versus Dorado Gaming, both contending in this week 4 to solidify, put their seal on this bracket, and prove once and for all who deserves to be here, who deserves playoffs. Maybe a little too early for that. Maybe I'm getting a little excited, a little ahead of myself. Panda, what do you want to see in this game?
I mean, the same thing we've been seeing. A bunch of action, a bunch of stuff. I mean, who wouldn't be excited? This is a 1-1 series. Both teams look like they're ready to win it all or throw it all at any moment in the game. So, I mean, I'm here for it. I hope they keep drafting the way that they're drafting, although I don't think that matters. They are just going to fight. So,
no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. I hope LZI does get like I said, Trey counterpick here. But outside of that, dude, I'd like to see the Akali, the Yanara, anything that can go and will go, go.
I want to see this Akali. It's been banned every game. Actually, not even. It was open last game, but they didn't pick it up. But so far this series in game 1, we've seen a Yuumi double kill at 2.5 minutes. Last game, we had 4 Barons and 2 Elders. I went to about 50 minutes. So as you can, it's been a banger. Those are the highlights. But yeah, Nocturne. I love Nocturne. And honestly, I think Nocturne is great for the way that these teams are playing.
Yeah, so this is something that I said USAJJ was going to do. They protect banned it. They banned it last game. I thought it might have been like, oh, this is something Halls wants to play, but no. I believe that last game this was a straight up protect ban for USAJJ. So that's 3 games where you have him go, I'm going to play an in character, and there it is, Yanara for verticality. That's exactly what I wanted to see. And it's going to be paired with something that's not Yuumi or Karma or Zyra, so I'm here for it. As we do see the Xayah in response, which is
Xayah Rakan?
You know, yeah, maybe.
Maybe we see some Rakan action. I think Rakan would be great for both these teams. The way that Lulu.
Yeah, that's gonna be a steal away. You don't want to pair that with the Yanara on the opposite side, so I kind of expected that. But this is pretty much free reign for the side of PVS. Like, he gets to choose what he wants in the Lulu. And it's gonna be Sona.
It's clerics. We're grabbing clerics, but they're gonna this is a PVS and a Kibo cleric matchup. Okay, this is a battle cleric. This isn't your normal. This isn't your normal. This isn't your mom's cleric match. Okay, this is about to go crazy.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot of fighting, regardless of Lulu Sona. I want it to be just like game 1 if that's the case. But to round out these comps, I'm not 100% sure where that Udyr is going. I'd prefer it on Halls. I want you to give Trey Dog something that's, you know, obviously more apt at taking over the game. But it could just be that flex pick where in here they lock in a mid for Decker, who's been the rock of LZI.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think Decker playing LeBlanc or Akali with this composition is good. Yeah, something like a Rise. Like Rise. I think is a lot better. Yeah. I don't know if is Orianna banned? Has Orianna been banned?
Orianna was banned by LZI.
Orianna is banned, yeah. Oh, by LZI. I see. I would have loved to see Decker on Orianna. I think that would have been great for this comp. Hui. Okay, so we're looking kind of standard, kind of want to go in. Once again, we're getting these kind of disjointed team compositions from Dorado. With a Renekton.
They will round out their comp with a Renekton, which is one of the best blind tops that you can pick here. So now the question is, are they going to have Trey Dog on the Udyr top, or is Halls going to be picking up the Udyr and giving the Volibear, of all things, over?
Whoa.
I don't think we'll know about this until we get straight into the game, because both of those are interchangeable in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, you could even send the Rise top, but I don't think you want to send a Volibear mid, so
yeah,
that Rise probably wants in mid. Probably not. So it's probably not that spicy, but, you know, stranger things have happened in this series.
True.
But there's plenty of beef here for LZI. They've got a pretty solid front-to-back composition. Yeah, your 280 carries, your 2 beefy boys, and your cleric. I mean, it can't get any more, you know, easy to play than that. On the flip side of things, it's a lot of safety, but a lot of dive. It's weird. I feel like there's 2 compositions here for Dorado. There's one half that's like, come to us, we'll deal with you when you overdive on us, which is like Lulu, Xayah, Hui type vibes. And then there's the other half, which is like, we're bringing the action to you, which is Nocturne and Renekton type vibe. So I'm not 100% sure what the composition is trying to accomplish.
Yeah, they did make that work last game. Like I said, the Swain felt out of place, but they were able to. I mean, they made it work. They made the win in 50 odd minutes almost. But I do think this is kind of the setup that LZI wanted. This is relative to what they played game one, where Verticality does get to play behind two big meaty guys and then win the game off of that. And PBS obviously is going to be playing that similar role. Hey, we're going to have a lot of healing, a lot of shielding, but this time he gets to be a little bit more active. That Sona ulti can be a killer if you have multiple members diving onto the backline, or if you just want to be, I hate that sound, if you just want to be an absolute Giga Chad and PBS flash forward and R onto a Xayah who just use ulti or something, that could be a part of the game plan.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to see that at least twice this game. Make your bets on chat. I'm putting my money on 2. Kibo's going to take a couple autos there. Trading back and forth here. On the top lane, once again, both of these top laners trying to establish dominance. We'll see who comes out on top. Last game it was Apex. Game 1 it was definitely Trey Dog. And this matchup is pretty volatile. So, wow, both these teams just not afraid to go at it right from the gate. Look at these HP bars. They're already taking a lot of damage on both sides.
Well below half here. I don't know if Apex, or originally I didn't think that Apex would want to fight there, but I realize now that he has Ignite. So if he gets Trey Dog low enough, he's just going to go for the all-in burst there with Ignite. That's why Trey Dog had to respect that and back up. You see him now posturing towards his tower. Yeah, kind of just frozen on the wave and dealing with the power that Renekton has.
Yeah, and once Renekton hits level 3, has that full combo, then things start to get really deadly, but for now, you can farm a little bit, feel a little bit okay. But yeah, this is definitely Trey Dog matchup-wise on the back foot, which does give Halls an opportunity to come and try to flip this lane, which is kind of what we saw early on in game 1, right? Apex was just a little overextended on the Scion, ends up handing over some kills in combination with Halls, and then Trey Dog picks up the lead on the window from there, and then just kind of runs him up. Mid lane is the only one that's looking a little bit more sane, but with a Rise, okay, why did I speak?
Yeah, well, these two characters inherently at level 3 are not just gonna kill each other unless we see some absolute shenaniganery. But I do think that the Rise, if you do get him into the late game, become a side lane presence, there's not much you can do to deal with him unless you're just throwing Apex, Kibo, and USAJJ at him all at once, and then not worrying about, you know, the Volibear rebuttal on the opposite side, as Halls does win this little skirmish here.
Yeah, I think he's just going to run off and grab his... Oh! Maybe he runs off a little too far. This is going to be 2v3. Oh, if you're not careful, Trey Dog. Halls is in trouble. First the flash. USAJJ also flashes, so flashes down for junglers. I think Hall was the one that got away with the scuttle, if I'm looking at CS correctly. Yes, I am. So Hall nets the scuttle, so I think that's slightly in favor of Hall. Also,
yeah, that's a positive LZI play. Yeah, that you pulled up Kibo, you actually got the scuttle, and it was just a trade of flashes. Great buffer he had there on Ram stance, so he actually got rid of Apex's stun, and he's got out scot-free. Well, I won't say scot-free, he lost his flash, but he got out mostly scot-free. Mostly
scot-free, and at least net positive. I think that's the biggest thing. And yeah, the fear being telegraphed does give Halls a little bit of counter opportunities. Oh, the heal is huge, but it's not enough. But JJ is in a dire strait. He's going to go down. Now all 3 of them in the bot side jungle here. Nissan going very, very low. Barrier's going to get popped. Polymorph, you're a squirrel. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're going to go down. Xayah picks up the kill. Nasty. Oh, PBS. Okay, she's going to be just healthy enough to walk this one out. But once again, this team is brawling, and this time Verticality gets on the wrong side of things as Nasty goes up 1-0.
Yeah, I think that the kill going over to Rise was more beneficial than the Nocturne originally, but then you gave another kill over to Xayah, and that just causes so much problems now. And an accelerated Xayah in this game is going to be really hard to dive on top of. And even in the front to back, she's still going to rip your front line up, because it's not like you have the Mundo or the Scion anymore. It's a relatively squishy Volibear who looks like he's going to be playing on the tankier side this game. Yeah, he has Grasp, he went that Chain Vest, that first item. So he will be a better front line than a typical Volibear, but still Xayah is a dangerous proponent in this game.
Yeah, the Zaya, if it gets super accelerated, now is LZI gonna have the discipline to be able to kite backwards away from the feathers? Now, from what we've seen in this series so far, backwards is not a well understood term from both of these teams. They kind of love going in, fight, 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 and that's kind of where Zaya excels. So yeah, any acceleration you're putting on her, it's gonna potentially be very, very deadly in these later game team fights.
And these top guys just trying to fight again. Unfortunately for Trey Dog, Renekton does get the ulti, yeah.
No stun, so it's not much is going to come from this. Just a good bit of poke damage. Halls in the wings. There's the ulti coming back in, but USAJJ is also there. Oh, there's the Q to heal up. Trey Dog going very, very low. The fear is going to connect. Apex is running for his life, but he isn't not going to survive. And now he's got so far to run to pick up the kill on the Trey Dog. Does get it, but Halls gets to smack on him the entire time. Double kill for the LZI jungler.
And just like that, everything's even again. Perfectly. Perfect kills, perfect gold. Everything's right back to equilibrium. And the only reason that I would say that that is a worse off trade for the side of LZI is that they did that when Nocturne was level 5. So he's still going to have this big Nocturne ulti presence that he could possibly push towards the top lane if Apex is able to make another play, or if they want to try to make another play on him. Or you buff your Zaya more and look on Verticality down here in the bot, who does not have his flash available.
Yeah, an overextension there from Verticality could be super deadly, but I like what you were saying earlier about maybe supporting Apex here in the top lane. He's already got like a pretty decent matchup here. If there's an opportunity to maybe accelerate that a little bit more, then a Fed Renekton looks really, really scary there for LCI to deal with. But we'll see. We'll see where JJ wants to put this first Nocturne ult.
He has a bit of CS sleep here too on the side of Apex. Obviously has that level lead for the time being, but is up XP in general. So it would have been really good for Trey Dog to get one of those kills. And we're talking a lot about top lane because this has been, I'd say, typically the most volatile lane that we've seen this series. And Trey Dog is going to fight. Like what we've seen, doesn't matter if he's down 4 kills, he's going to fight it.
Oh, that's a whiffed W, I believe. So I think that's Apex's cue to kind of make an issue out of this. Trey Dog on the run. Okay, nothing to really follow it up with. But JJ also lurking in bot Tribush, waiting for Verticality to just take that little step forward.
I want to point out this has been the most calm that the series has been all night long, so we're a little baffled as well.
Yeah, this is definitely the most stable. But okay, you just played a 50-minute banger, right? And you're going into game 3 for all the biscuits. It makes sense that maybe you start to play a little more conservatively because everything's on the line now and you're maybe getting a little fatigued. So, not to be unexpected, but definitely a little off par for the course with these two teams.
Yeah, with PVS ticking over to 6 there, every single person on the map now has ulti at least, ticked on. And Apex will go for the fight here.
He wants it, but does he have enough to get it out? He's going to get the ulti out of the way. Ignite is going to get burned. And now Apex, he's in the bush, but Decker is here to support his top laner. Trey Dog going very, very low. Apex heals up. Oh, but there's the ulti from JJ to flip the fight. Trey Dog is too low to really keep this going. But Apex is waiting for cooldowns. As soon as he gets it, I bet you he's going to be dashing in here. All's full HP. They're just going to be prancing about each other. Verticality going very, very low here. There's the Feather Storm going out. Is he going to pull it back? Polymorph, nothing that Verticality can do. CC'd for days and days and days. PVS going extremely low. Oh, but the pullback doesn't really get anything there. And very, very low, inching away is PVS in the bot lane.
So we were talking about PVS possibly doing the flash forward Soda R. Instead, Kibo was like, I heard you guys loud and clear. Flashes forward, gets the double knock up on the Verticality and PVS. And they said, we'll make our own engaged champs. We like doing it our way. So, I mean, I guess it works out. You do burn both subs on both supports. Still have the barrier available for Zaya, so she's feeling relatively safe right now. I'd like to see Verticality try to take advantage of this window where Xayah has no flash, has no ulti. Call Hells down, try to make a play. But if you don't, if you start to let this Xayah bleed you out and win the lane, then like we said before, it's going to get very, very dodgy for LZI.
Yeah, with the BF sword already, suddenly these fights are looking a little spookier than they might otherwise be. Interestingly, well, I noticed that the culls were at the exact same point, but then a couple of CS gone over, but they're very, very close in terms of finishing up these puzzles around the same time. Holes in the wings, and so is JJ. Both junglers trying to make an issue of this bot lane. Polymorph is going to come through. PBS takes a huge chunk right before what could potentially be a big 3v3.
This is one of my favorite mini games in the whole world. This is where you bait the jungler into wasting as much time as possible if you have vision on him. And it looks like it will just be LZI walking away. This is a lot of damage on the Decker.
Yes, Filing Despair using the mid lane, but UJJ going in. PBS going very, very low. Blade Caller not going to be enough to pick up the kill. Verticality does not commit the ulti. Not enough damage to go through to kill anyone in that bot lane. Oh, but the positioning is very strange. JJ wants to make an issue out of this Gromp. Halls does secure it with the smite. Trey Dog going very low in the top lane. Half HP. Stun. Ooh, very, very low. But ooh, look at that healing. Oh my gosh. Pretty massive.
Yeah, but Dominus and Ignite are coming up, and Apex knows that he has a kill window very shortly.
Yeah, is he going to go for the dive here? That would be extremely spicy. I think maybe a little too spicy for the current situation. But both top laners know that bot lane is all eyes are on bot right now. So that is a more or less isolated 1v1 Verticality. Still has ulti, still has flash, still has barrier. And JJ is going to say, oh, no. And Trey Dog fighting the top lane. Is it going to be a duel to the death? Ulti is going to get popped out, dashed away. Trey Dog with the Ignite, ticking away. Going to be healthy enough. Very, very low mana. Apex with a full Fury bar. Is there action here? Wave is going to dissipate. Yeah. And
yeah, that's just a little nod to each other. Like, hey, I know you have ult. I have ult too. Let's see who wants to pull the trigger first. And unfortunately,
TP though.
I still
TPing onto Apex.
Yeah, I think it's just a clear wave angle. I like that Trey Dog is testing Apex. Like, hey, you're the person in this lane who needs to do, more to show your worth. I'm kind of just chilling here, especially that now that they're on relatively even footing. He is down 20 CS, does need to call Halls up there to recuperate some of that, but overall he's playing fine here.
Yeah, it's not too bad. He isn't giving away, any kills or anything crazy like that. And with the Ignite, when you take Ignite on Renekton, you want to get at least like one kill in lane, at least, right? That's the whole point of like kind of taking that summoning. But Volibear can just press R, fly away, popping that Stormbringer, and he is gone with a big shield in tow. So unless you're prepared to flash after that with a stun, there's not really much coming from it. Oh, and junglers are getting called. JJ's in the wings.
I'd like to see this 2v2 play out, where both junglers actually get the fight. Unfortunately for Halls, he might not.
And Decker is here. Oh, Nissan pops the damage, takes Halls out of the fight more or less. There's the re-engage. Oh, the Spiraling Despair, so much damage. And the positioning is looking very bad for LZI right now. Halls goes down with a flash Q. Trey Dog picks up the big heal, but he is also going to fall. And Nissan might not have been first in the rotation, but Kibo, with the ulti on himself, knocks up Decker, and the slow field is keeping him tied up, hoping for the team to show up. But PBS there to escort his mid laner to safety. Decker, a little sidestep, move speed here on Nissan. Nissan wants the action. Is he gonna get the? He gets the grab. He gets the damage. There's the passive. Not enough. Not enough. There's the heal for PBS. And he is going to survive. Decker getting away by the skin of his teeth on that botched play topside.
Decker he needs the new title. He needs like Escape Artist Deluxe or something. He's gotten out of too many instances where he should just be a dead man. And I mean, I have to say that Halls played his hand too forward there. Obviously didn't know JJ was in the bush, but you know that something's going on if Apex isn't scared off by your presence ultimately. So I feel like that's just a bit of a big mistake that he had made, and now they're down 4K gold here at 15 minutes. That's just almost impassable.
Yeah, that's brutal. And JJ, I mean, a lot of that gold landing on the Nocturne, which is very spooky. Oh, Apex going very, very low here, but the Dominus is coming out. There's the Stormcaller. There's the big heal from TreDog. TreDog still kind of wants it. There's a stun, but it's not enough. TreDog is going to go down in the 1v1. Apex picking it up. There's the fear on the Decker as Nissan flashes for his life. JJ with the ulti. It is Joyce going to be... Oh, no! It's going to be used to fly down on the PBS. Slightly out of position. Flash is going to get him to safety. Xayah pushing forward. Nasty wants the damage, but he is getting very, very low. Verticality still has the ulti available, but Dragon is going to fall here for the side of Dorado. Is there going to be some more action here? Verticality looking, poking, prodding the defenses. JJ just going to throw a Q, and that's going to be the end of it.
I feel like this
tower does go down.
I feel like that was definitely an overextension on JJ's part, but he wasn't punished. I'm not sure if Verticality just didn't have the trust in his ability to burn, but after the ulti was used by JJ, the next biggest problem that you have is Xayah ulti, and Halls was coming down, so maybe they just didn't want to commit a TP or as Halls.
Speaking of Halls, it just evaporates Apex.
I read that wrong. Yes, he destroyed Apex. Wow. What is his build?
Insane.
Oh, he has Spear Sojin first item. So this is going to be an AD Udyr.
It's a weird hybrid. It's also got a well, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a what is that? Black Cleaver next item, but the very interesting Darksteel. I guess it's just for some extra incidental damage, maybe here and there.
Yeah, I'm unsure. I mean, his R still does damage. It still gets the proc off, so we'll see how he functions into the mid game. But he's actually going to be well more of a damage source than he will be of a tank. Kind of a hybrid drain tank if he's able to get his Tortoise form off. But I'm excited to see him possibly be able to pop Xayah or even play in that motion.
And it looks like a lane swap is going to come out. Bot lane getting shunted mid here to pick up that Herald. As Apex looking towards Verticality, but Verticality getting some quality time with this bot lane tower. Picks up a couple plates. Some nice gold for herself. PBS in the wings. Halls as well. Is the dive going to come through? There's the Dominus trying to dissuade it, but Decker comes in with the Realm Warp, and that's going to be a dead Apex. Decker picking up the kill. Might have wanted that to go into your ADC, but on the rise is also quite good, and that tower is also going to fall. Good dive here from the side of LZI.
Yeah, you do end up trading your mid-tier 1, but I think that is such a fantastic dive. Now, if you lose the tier 2, that's going to be very big problems, as it doesn't look like Hall's reset here. Might be going for the flank look onto Xayah if she does not back up fast enough, which it does look like she will.
Yeah, they do lose the mid-tier 1, which is pretty brutal, but they get a dive. They get a win here in Versatility's book. Sorry. Losing my mind here. And, yeah, so he needed a win because he was 0-2. Down basically about half an item right now. So he needs to kind of pick it up if he wants to keep pace with Xayah. And Yunar is kind of a big chunk of LZI's damage. So you need to get some more gold onto this Yunar, one way or another.
I agree. But one of the good things about losing your outer turrets like this means that there's only so far that the enemies can push in without either getting a response or you being able to overload certain parts of the map. Like right now, most of the focus from Dorado should be focused on mid to bot. If there is a topside play available for LZI, they should try to take that. Move Halls up, move TreDog up. You still have TP on TreDog. Apex has TP as well, but the TreDog TP will have a fat shield on him. He is your tank, he is your front line, and the way that it looks like Decker is building, he's going to be relatively tanky, or at least survivable in the mid game. He's going to get that Seraphs. I'm guessing he's going to go for either Frozen Heart, considering all the AD damage on the enemy team, or something to keep him alive longer. Maybe a Zhonya's, something to play around. So there will be moments in here where you're able to absorb a lot of that early damage that comes out of JJ and Apex, and then play back in the team fight. But it does look like Decker might be in trouble.
Ooh, Apex gets the proc. The ulti comes through. There's the flash to get to safety. And Decker is going to be able to walk away. Does cost him his flash, but bot tower goes down. Good dive from JJ.
Yeah, but this is exactly the counter punch that you kind of want here. Hall's on this top side, trying to get TreDog some sort of onus back in the game. The tower will fall, and is it going to be enough to take down?
Oh, Nissan. Oh, but Kibo is here to try to protect, but it's just not enough. There's a TP here from Apex trying to pick up kills on the backside. Gets traded out. Trade out going down. Halls, PVS, taking tons of damage. Polymorph comes through into Halls. Halls is going to go very low and is going to go down. Kibo very, very low as well. And Zaya, Nasty picking up the kill there. So that ends up being a pretty bad play there for LZI. They lose 3 members, only picking up the 1 for Nissan. We have dives on 2 sides of the map, but one dive just looks a little bit better, a little bit cleaner in execution than the other.
Yeah, it took them so long to get on top of Nissan there, and now it might just cost them the Baron. You also tried that dive without either one of your actual main carries in the Rise or in the Yunara, so that's a bit of a problem there as well. As the top side for Dorado is just so much stronger than the top side of LZI currently.
Yeah, wow, 20-minute Baron there going over for Dorado as Chemdrake is going to be the consolation prize, getting traded over on the bot side of that, but maybe not as Nissan is running in, trying to make an issue out of this. Oh, there's a Realm Wart coming as well. Oh, Decker is way, way back there. JJ a little bit too deep, forced the flash to reposition. Kibo now caught in the sights here, but JJ, Smite is going to come through. Drake is going to get secured there for Dorado, so it ends up getting flipped. There is no dragon to be countered here for LZI. It is everything going the way of Dorado.
And in the mid lane, the tower falls, and Zaya makes off with the chickens from Halls. So, yeah, I think that's just an overall loss across the whole scene. Verticality had to burn the flash as well, and now Trey Dog might just be dead to a Zaya flank.
You're in trouble, Trey. He's running for his life, but there's tons of move speed to get Zaya up and in there. There's the slow. Is it going to be enough? Forced to burn the storm, call it a getaway, and Zaya says, I don't want to spend my flash chasing that into darkness. I'll just take the ulti and walk away. Halls, sneaky bush play, but is he the hunter or the hunted as he walks away? Little pump fake there. You know, like when the bear's chasing you, you gotta look big, right?
Yeah, you just jab step, put your arms up, and like, yeah, he's not gonna fight me anymore. And this is a wild. Whoa,
where is JJ going? He's under tower, pops the ulti. We're inside the base of LZI here, 22 minutes with a Baron. Damage gets locked up, Halls going down. There's 4 members still defending, trying to make a valiant effort here. There is no Herald, so they don't have to worry about that taking the tower down, but it's still a Baron-empowered push here very early in the game. Not a whole lot of items here on the side of LZI to be able to clear these waves out in any kind of quick fashion. So tower is going to go down. Dorado picking up the first Nexus, sorry, not Nexus tower, oh my gosh, that'd be crazy. First inhibitor tower here in top lane. TP coming through in the bot lane, looking to counterpunch. Trey Dog going for that tower.
I really dislike this TP. He tried, but this might net him a death here. Zaya is going to run forward. I don't think she wants to take him on outright, but they do have Nocturne ulti coming back up shortly, so if he stays here, this could be a dead bear.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a TP for 2 plates, is what it seems like on paper. Wasn't able to get the tower. The Baron-empowered recalls made sure that was not going to happen. Now both teams here, kind of posturing, poking and prodding, seeing what they can find. A lot of pings coming out. Apex caught out of position. He's going very, very low. There's the stun, there's the flash, burn, 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 and that's going to be it. Decker picking up the kill. But all 4 members here of Dorado are here to make an issue of this. Perhaps avenge their young lad. Zaya forward for autos. And there's the Realm Warp to get everyone in right onto JJ. JJ with the darkness. And here is, oh my gosh, it's so low. Halls running for his life. In the back line, Decker goes down too far forward. Verticality going very, very low. Oh, and it's just a disaster as Dorado picks up kill after kill after kill. You can't stop Nasty. He's too nasty with it. Going 5-0 on the Zaya here in game 3.
I don't like the play. Your Yunara was in mid. You had no actual setup. You just decide to pop Rise ult and TP on their forehead when they have a Lulu who can polymorph and knock up. I feel like that was a bit of a desperation play a little bit before they needed to make a kind of play like that. And now it might just be the end, as PVS is just the only one alive currently. Verticality's getting up soon, but this should at least be Inhib and a reset out for Dragon and possibly Baron on the next rotation.
Yeah, 25-minute Inhib looking very, very clean here for Dorado, showing why they are currently undefeated in the series, but they've still got a little bit of a ways to go here to close this one out, but 10k gold lead, that's going to be hard to surmount here for LZI. They are definitely on the back foot. They have to come up with some kind of strategy. Perhaps a pick here onto JJ. Is it a pick, though? No, he's just going to get feared and walk away. But Decker gets the root. Flash forward. There's the darkness, the paranoia to try and keep himself safe. Apex going over the wall, looking for something. It's just going to be a trade 1-for-1. I don't think that's quite good enough in this state of the game. Apex looking to bully out Verticality. Is he going to get him? No. Just going to be a walk away.
If you're LCI, you will absolutely take the 1-for-1 right now. No objectives up, and you keep your jungle, the biggest presence on the enemy team, their jungle, out of the map for the time being. Now, if you drop any more deaths, that's probably not doable, but you see how much time Trey Dog gets on the bot side now, because Nissen can't really match him. He can do a lot of damage, but ultimately the bear just wants to take a couple plates and then move.
Looks like mid tower is going to go down here for Dorado. LCI picking that up, getting some shutdown gold as well, and they're getting pole position here onto the Dragon. So there may be some sauce here still for LZI, but the gold differential is something to be very mindful of. You just don't have the damage compared to the Dorado lineup right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of to the point to where I was talking earlier, the survivability that Rise has or built initially is now looking at, you know, a worse for wear, because you're down damage, you're down 9k gold. You don't really have the tools in your kit to just win fights outright with Xayah so accelerated. Even Way is accelerated. He's at 3.5 items, 10 stacks on the Darksteel. I'll call that a half item any day of the week. So
Yeah.
you want to be really careful here. Baron is something you might have to give up as well. It looks like they might be making plays on elsewhere on the map, but Halls is on this top side from what I see.
Trey Dog 0-5, still staying the Alpha cheat. Apex running away. Baron is going to be the call. Smite is going to come. Oh, never mind. Smite is not going to come through. But Baron is going to be secured nonetheless here for Dorado. That's the second Baron of the game. First one taken, of course, 20 minutes, following a botched dive from LZI. And I think that was really the moment, that dive, that really turned this game from like pretty even-ish to very much in the hands of Dorado. They know how to take one small lead and turn it into something massive here in this game.
I agree, but if they continue to pick JJ, it might just turn around for him.
Yeah, forced to flash defensively there. There's the paranoia going in on 2. Hall is going to fall as Decker runs for his life. Oh, Trey. Oh, they're trying to make a play here, but oh, there's the Stormcaller right into the midst of everyone, but Versatility is going to just go down. Trade 1-for-1. Nissan's still alive, and so is Kibo, but notably, Nasty is dead. Apex looking for it, but we'll warp out of there. Ski-daddle, we're gone. We'll take our shutdown, and we will go. So it's a 2-for-2 at the end of the day, but a shutdown going over, and who did it land on? That's the big question. Panda, do you have some more information for us?
The information I have is that Decker is still the Rock. He popped Actualizer and did so much damage to the Xayah in that fight that she was almost completely out of it before they were able to do anything. And then his ultimate usage there towards the end that got them out of that 3v3 situation, which definitely would have turned into an Apex double kill at the least, was perfect. I mean, this guy knows how to play his champs. He knows the limits of his summoner spells and his abilities, and I can't praise him enough. Now, is it enough for LZI to win the game? That is the question, as they're coming back from that gold deficit, now only down 8k gold. I mean, 2k gold in 3 minutes is pretty good.
Yeah, but that's still a long way to go. As anyone who's played League before, I have this kind of rule. 5k, usually a 5k differential, you've got what you need to win the game. Usually 10k it's so far gone that you can't really lose unless you really, really mess up. So there's still quite a bit of way for LZI to go, but they are starting to do the impossible and close that gold gap, which is exactly what they need to do. So it's a beginning, but there's definitely still a long way to go. I think Baron timing, it should be expiring relatively soon here, which should take the pressure off. But Dorado still looking to make one last... Oh, look at that TP. That is a deadly TP here from Trey Dog, going way back. There's 4 members, but TP from Apex, and they're trying to make it a 5v5. Oh, Trey Dog just actually channeling the recall immediately. Says, I don't want a piece of this. Oh, Paranoia is going to cancel the recall. Oh, Trey Dog, you are all but dead, friend. What are you going to do to get yourself out of this one? Not much. It's only a matter of time.
Mightily unfortunate there. They did do kind of what they wanted to in burning both the TPs on Trey Dog and then, you know, trading it for Apexes. But the problem there is you have blue wards, you have Paranoia. You're not really getting out of that situation on the side of LZI Trey Dog. And now it could just spell the end of the game. They don't really have a front line to do anything here. And these Dorado Gaming players are tunneling down.
Yeah, at the very least, you're losing a bunch of inhibs here. You may just straight up lose the game, but minion waves are pushed out mid. Top is still going to take a little bit to get in here. Bot is filing in, but it's a small wave that should be easily cleared out. I think it's just going to be 3 inhibs and a reset. I don't know if Dorado can make much more of this. What is the call going to be from them? Do they want to try to go for the end? No, it looks like they are just going to take the reset, take the 3 inhibs, set up for the next objectives. Next dragon spawning in 30 seconds here, and that is going to be Soul for Dorado, and making the game that much harder for LZI to get back into.
Yeah, another Chemtech Soul when you're already dealing with a Renekton who has a bunch of healing in his kit. Lulu was shielding and healing as well, and actually a pretty beefy Nocturne here as he does have the Death Stance and he has the Stride Breaker. So really unfortunate Soul to give over. But it is on the weaker side of what could have been. So if they're able to hold this off and possibly, as Dorado's just looking to walk it down mid, win a team fight here, fingers crossed for LZI, they might actually be able to turn the game around.
Well, they have to find something here, but when super minions are filing in, you've got 3 inhibs down, that's double supers every lane, the defense becomes very dire. And it looks like Dorado are saying, we don't even need Soul, we just want to force the issue here on your Nexus towers. Huge wave about to crash in the top lane. Reinforcements arriving in bot as well, and mid, everywhere, every which way you look. There are super minions in the base, and autos are about to start falling. Halt! Going forward, gets to summon the Nissan, but it's not going to be enough. He's absolutely going to get melted and shredded. Paranoia in the backline. JJ's pretty deep. Decker is going to be able to get the disengage. Apex diving as well. PBS survived. They're very deep right now. Can they make this happen? Oh, huge Featherstorm into the lake. Oh, it gets a ton of damage and a couple kills. Decker and Verticality are all that stand between destruction, but they are not enough as the Nexus falls. And Dorado rises to 4-0 in Group B, Week 4. LZI put up a valiant defense, but once again, the pundits are right. It's a 2-1 victory for Dorado.
Yeah, and honestly, I got to give props to Apex and USAJJ. Both of them had a clear game plan going in. Hey, we want to be aggressive. We want to fight forward. We want to create a top side that looks like we're winning for the side of Dorado. And they were able to do that. It looked really good. Not to mention, Nashi got his pick. He knew what he wanted to play into the Yanara because it looks like they left it up for that reason. Picking the Lulu afterwards to further accelerate that Xayah, and they were able to pull out the W. Congrats to Dorado Gaming.
Yeah, that was a battle, Lulu, though. We saw more than one flash self-ulti for some knock-up plays. But that's just the way that these guys play. They're like, I'm a cleric, it doesn't matter. I want action. And it was an action-packed series from start to finish, from Yuumi double kills at 2 minutes to 55-minute bangers with multiple Barons and Elder Drakes. These teams put on a show. They were battling their heart and soul out from start to finish, and it was a great series. I had a ton of fun casting it. Can't wait to see what else these guys have in store for us for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, me as well. I mean, like the content said, LZI was on the freight train of 4 games against the 4 best teams in their division. They pulled out 1-3 out of those games. So if they are able to win out, they might be able to squeak into playoffs. I mean, obviously that's a couple weeks away, but that's what they're looking at right now. Down the barrel of a 1-3 season start, they got to pull it out.
Yeah, and they're taking games. It's not like they're not taking games. And some of the games
Yeah.
they're losing, they're looking pretty close. They're looking pretty competitive. So I wouldn't count LZI out by a long shot. What I would like to see, and this is just my personal opinion, as some random caster on the internet, I would love to see LZI rally more around Decker. I think Decker is a great player. I think he's got the sauce. I think he's got the moves. I think he's got the game sense, and I think he's got the positioning. And I think if we just rally around him, enable Decker, enable those control mage type picks into straight team fight, I think LZI can really shape up a strong team that could really push for playoffs here.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. PVS had the opportunity to pull out things like the Blitzcrank, like the Nautilus, to play a little bit more aggressive alongside the Yunara in the last game. Chose the Sona, that may just be their style. I haven't done a full check on them, but I think Verticality was playing well enough in all the spots. Should I say that again?
Oh, I got the call. You can keep going.
Oh, okay. I like the way Verticality was playing, and maybe with a little bit more there, they could do better against Dorado or their future matchups. I think Decker definitely is a carry, and Verticality is second on that list.
Yeah, absolutely, and not to count short Dorado, because Apex was looking a little shaky in that first game, but in games 2 and games 3, there was a pretty good performance, especially in the lane on that Gangplank, and the Renekton looked pretty strong. So I liked what I was seeing from Apex, especially as one of the more junior members in the roster. But Nashty, oh my gosh, Nashty was just going nasty, and JJ, JJ kind of tries to set up the late game for Nashty, and Nashty really just dunks that alley oop almost every single time. So those are the players you got to watch out for if you are heading into Dorado later in this tournament. You got to keep your eyes peeled, because both these teams are teams to watch. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We had a blast this game. I was your host, Mite. Joined with me was Panda. And I'd also like to shout out our lovely production, Shivam, behind the scenes. You'll never see him, but did a great job powering through some great Riot difficulties. But that has been us for the night, y'all. Stay tuned to this tournament. It's going to be amazing. Week by week, the action only gets hotter and hotter. You guys have a good one now. Stay safe. Have fun on the Rift. We'll see you next time.